but I mean, I have a dual screen going on, but I don't know if it would do that. Check, check, check. I don't hear it. I don't hear it anymore. I did for a second. Check, check, check. Kyle, speak up.
Spicka Span Show!
All right. We hear you, Kyle. Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hold on. Let me make you a little bigger here. I didn't even think about that part. Okay. We are at in the great outdoors here. Let me make Kyle bigger here. Cover up this tree. So, yeah, the reason that there was that echo is there's a new, so OBS had like a new software download, and one of the little new components there is that let me see here, is that it has like a headphone plug-in. Also, I think a couple of people noted that my audio was like off the charts last week, both of ours.
Like good?
Huh?
Good?
Check, check, check. Yeah,
No,
we're
I'm
good.
saying like good off the charts.
No, it was like blowing people's eardrums out. And so a couple weeks ago when we were over in Tampa, I had to adjust a lot of the audio settings, and this new audio interface mixer that they have on OBS like works way better. Like the input is way better. So can we get audio was good last week? I mean, I'm looking at it on my screen, and it's like red, 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 just blasting everything. And so they moved around where the toggles of the sound are. So it used to be on the bottom that you can control the volume. Now it's on the top. So when I go to adjust it, it's like adjusting different audio levels. And then now there's like a headphone jack setting. That's like a new thing on the mixer. So you can accidentally hit that. So anyway, we're ripping now. I've got the lav mics. I'm in the great outdoors. I'm up in Ojai. Kyle's at home in the Spick and Span Studios #2. And we got a lot of stuff done yesterday, actually. I'm very proud of what we accomplished. Kyle and I we caught up on like 5 episodes worth of giveaways, because as you guys remember, we left what we had an episode, and then we went straight to Tampa, and then we were there for basically 2 weeks worth of episodes, and then there was like one other week that we had to catch up on. As a reminder, and thank you, Doc, also. Doc's in the chat here, for constantly reminding everybody that they need to send in their shipping addresses, all the details. So make sure you guys send in your shipping addresses, so that way we can get you guys some stuff when you win. That's the big one. So as always, we're going to spin the wheel at the end of the show. We're going to give away some stuff. And last week, we had some big winners, and Kyle and I literally stuffed bags full of Tigerwear lanyards with Gen X Global pods. So shout out to Gen X Global for hooking us up. A couple of you guys even got some Valentine's Day pods signed by Kyle and I, with chocolate still in them. Somehow the pods made it out unscathed through Valentine's Day. That's like a month and a half away that Sloan did not find them and eat all the chocolates. So consider yourself, that's like almost even that's like even a luckier gift right there. The fact that you got them and they were uneaten, you know? Move this thing. Also, big shout out and congratulations to our boat squad member. We got all of our boat squad members, but AJ from the Lords won the very first Spick and Span bunker to be given away to the public. So right now, Kyle Berry has one. There are a couple out in Alabama at a field. I don't know if they got set up this weekend. I'm still waiting to see some pictures of them, but I'm pretty excited about all that. And we're gonna have some more for Dover. I think we got the can. So I don't know what it is about it,
maybe
but I
the
feel
wedge.
like, what's that?
Or the giant wedge.
No, I think he said can.
We should have asked him yesterday.
No, he said can. I already asked him. And he's like, you guys weren't clear. And I was like, I swear I said wedge. But then,
Well, when's the last time you asked him? Because I was like, Ryan doesn't know what the bunkers are called. We want the giant wedge.
so you know what's funny you say that, right? Remember when we were talking and you're like, oh, the mini wing. And I was
Yeah.
like, you call the W bunker a wing? That was you. What's the W? What's the little mini W?
That's like the.
You
laid out
called it
like
a mini
race.
wing.
No,
Some-
I'm calling the wedge the mini wing.
No, I know that. But somebody in our camp, like somebody was like, that's the mini wing. And I was like, what? Anyway.
Oh. Yeah, I think someone did call it like a wing.
And I was like, wait, what? And then that really threw me a loop because that was after I spoke with Jason about what we're supposed to be working on. So anyway, yeah. Dynasty is not practicing at SC Village this weekend. So Dynasty has 2 more practices. We're gonna talk, we got Tom Cole coming on the show today. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the upcoming event. The quick turnaround, it's literally in 5 weeks. We just placed all of the orders for JT. We've got some new stuff coming out. There's a couple pairs of pants that I'm really excited about, a new Gamer Series t-shirt. We released the Space Invader shirt on the last one, a couple of new cotton shirts, a couple samples, some more of the grind playing shirts. We got a bunch of stuff coming out. I picked up, just realized I have this sweatshirt on backwards, I think. No, you're not. Yep, definitely. Here's my new HORMESIS sweatshirt. This one was pretty fresh. It's definitely on backwards. Flip this sucker around. Oh boy.
Looks like it's had to rain up there.
Yeah, so that's also another concern that I have here. So
It's pretty cloudy here too.
I was explaining to Kyle. So my house is being tented right now. So it is unlivable for the week. So we came up to Ojai for, it's also Sloan's spring break. So there we go. Yeah, the branding's on the front.
Yeah, Ryan, you have a circus over there.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I'm gonna drive by there and take photos and be like, Sloan, you had a circus at your house while I was gone, and I went, and it was so much fun. Why didn't your parents tell you?
The bounce house. The bounce house is
Yeah.
there. My roof is still getting finished. I had a call with my contractor today to try to get just a little bit of a discount, and he declined yet again. So I don't even want to. I'm not even going to tell you guys. I can't even stomach the idea of telling everybody what it costs because it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, anyway, so that's why I'm up in Ojai. It's Sloan's spring break. I'm not inside of the house because, well, at any moment in time, there's going to be a harem of children that's going to run up here. I don't think that's the right word to use, adjective to use, but there's going to be a gaggle of children that are going to run into the house, and it's going to inevitably be extremely loud. So I'm just taking the L and doing this out in the front yard. It's generally a really nice view behind me, and there's like horses and mountains and all that stuff, but all I got is clouds right now. So,
Yeah, what?
clouds.
Oh, I thought you said Claude.
I do have Claude also. Wasn't a guy. Him and I did a lot of talking, reflecting today on the car ride.
That's nice.
You know how it is.
I've just been getting hit with all those ads for that Whisper AI thing that you sent me.
Oh, you haven't gotten it yet?
No, I got it, but I'm just getting all the ads too. I'm like, I already got it.
No, Whisper AI is great. Like that's a home run because it just integrates right into your computer. And Junior told me that. Junior from BFPGear.com, best place to buy online gear. He actually gave me a good question of the day today, 2-part question for Tom Cole. So that actually did come in on the inbox prior to the show starting. But
oh, really?
Yeah, like a real deal. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I know. Yeah, so it's like your talk to text on Siri, except way better. Way better.
You can what was I gonna say? sorry, I just thought of a really good idea while I was saying that with AI. I think I could create something where people could go. We could do a Regal Beagle for fun betting online, like make an app.
Oh
And all
yeah.
you would do, but it's not like real money, obviously, but you know, we'll give winner a prize.
No way, dude. Let's do it with the real loot, dude. This is what we need to do. We need to make it actually like
I
the
think that's
whole
illegal, isn't
deal.
it?
And it's also not
Isn't it legal?
it's not Regal Beagle. It's legal Beagle because it's like
Legal Beagle.
this is legal.
Beagle.
And you know where legal Beagle came from? It's from Chris Lasoya when when someone picked up his Intimidator and tried to get it to ramp it like his, and he goes, "Nah, it's legal Beagle."
Yeah, that's good.
Which I always thought was really funny. They're like, fool, that's not legal Beagle at all. Holy smokes.
Windy?
No, Camille just came ripping by on a horse.
You turn that video on. You turn this fan off.
Yeah, the fan is annoying. Bring that sucker over here. Anyway, real quick, before, oh yeah, actually, real quick, want to thank all of our show sponsors, obviously, while we have a minute. So thank you for turning that fan off. We've got Pate Smith from Pate Smith Law, who's actually going to be out here on Wednesday out in San Diego. So Pate, if you're listening, give us a call. I got a roofer for you to meet. And yeah, we're going to be talking about some big things. We got some cool things moving forward here at the NXL with him. Also, we got Junior and Gina from BFPGear.com. Obviously, the best place to shop online. Also, one of the things that we always impress upon people, and them along with all of our sponsors, Tigerwear, HORMESIS, Gen X, James from Island Designs, they all are supporters of paintball, not just businesses within paintball, right? They go out there and they support the leagues, the players, with Pate doing the move of the event, paying cash out of his own pocket to pay players for those sort of things. Junior and Gina sponsor. They've got a brick and mortar field. They've got a store. They've got actual fields. They sponsor a couple different online platforms and podcasts, and they sponsor Dynasty. They sponsor PB Fit. I think PB Fit has BFP Gear bunkers coming in soon. So there's like a lot of things that these guys do with the outreach within the paintball community. That's not just selling you guys stuff and then saying thank you. They actually go out there and support paintball. So like I always say, if you're going to buy from companies, do it from companies who support what you love. And I think this is a great example of those types of companies. So big thank you to all of our show supporters and sponsors. Like I said, Kyle and I just wrapped up a ton of goodies, a lot of signed pods with some Tigerwear merch, a couple of BFP Gear stickers, and all that sort of stuff going out there, and bunkers and things like that. So we got the full gambit of goodies that go out there. Also, because we were digging through stuff and we're gonna get James from Island Designs to make us a couple more spick and span items that we can give away. But we also want to, if you guys are medium or size large, hit me or Kyle up. We've got a ton of stuff that's just kind of piled up that needs to get out of the office so we can declutter the area. And then also, Kyle, you'll like this. Cassidy was over at the house because he flew home with me. And he's like, I got to come inside and check out the studio and like tell you what exactly I can do to help you guys. Yeah, and he's like, he came in here because he's like, I love doing this. This is like what I like to do. And he was like, okay, I can work with this because we have this weird thing in the studio with the light on the left and the light on the right, where the sun comes up, and so we got the light on this side and then bounces over on the other side.
Dude,
I wasn't joking.
You got to make your screen big.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's so.
Who's watching our children right now? Oh,
Emil, can you make that horse eat Ryan's hat? They need some carrots or something.
Oh, he loves carrots.
And what if it came up and just bowled you over live, and then you're knocked out, and we didn't know how to end OBS?
Yeah. So the ranch here, so we rent these 2 houses here for Airbnb, and just to kind of live in here, or not live in here, come up here on vacation. And then the bottom part of the ranch is actually is leased out to a company called Reins of Hope, and they do like horse therapy for disabled veterans for PTSD. So it's actually a really cool thing. So the owners down there, we've got a gang of horses that they just kind of like let people come in, and there's like this horse therapy. It's a really big thing, like this animal therapy. And so that's
Alan Beach just said something. Is she not riding with a saddle on there?
no, she's ripping bareback. So Camille used to train horses when she was younger. So she's like a full, I mean, she's trained like trained horses for celebrities and stuff like that. So she knows what she's doing. But yes, generally you have a saddle on a horse. But she's just ripping it. Yeah. No, this isn't Green Valley Lake. This is Ojai. Green Valley Lake is no more. We're over Green Valley Lake. It was too cold, too dry. Now, oh, Kyle, will you send Tom the link to the show? Do you have it handy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just had to message him. Also, before we get into the show and before we get Tom on, I did want to address and send our condolences to Greg Pauly and his family. As many of you guys know, Greg passed away, I believe, over the weekend, and the news was just released. And you know, actually, Al Martinez reached out to me a few months ago. I knew that Greg was sick. And Al Martinez reached out and asked if there was anything we can do to honor him in the recent Hall of Icons. His name is on the list for the Hall of Icons, but because he wasn't voted in, I added a new award this year, which we're going to continue moving forward, and it doesn't have to always honor somebody who's ill or anything like that. But we presented Greg Pauly with a Lifetime Achievement Award in Tampa. And so, you know, I wrote this for him, and I gave this to Al and Mark to read, but it was a little tough for them to read while they're up there on stage. So I'll just I'll give it to you guys now. It's just kind of short and sweet, but you know, a lot of the time, Lifetime Achievement Awards, you know, they mean a lot of different things. So Greg being our first recipient, he dedicated his entire life to the sport, literally. And his impact, I say Greg Pauly's impact has been steady, real, and far-reaching. He has shaped players, teams, and the game itself for decades. We recognize Greg and want everybody to know that his contributions are remembered and honored. Greg, you've earned every bit of respect and gratitude for those mentored and inspired. You'll be the first recipient of our Lifetime Achievement Award and for your contribution to the sport. I feel like, you know, he had this new disciplined way of playing paintball, and it's something that he did very well with, and he taught a lot of players in Texas especially, but across the whole world. Kind of one of the first true guys to bring that semi-pro team and like really put a name on the semi-pro side of things, and then bring that team to a competitive nature. And so, yeah,
and
he was
of like advanced.
Yeah, very advanced
calls, like zone calls.
Mm-hmm.
I think as like, you know, how the common popular one too. Like, I'm not sure if this is correct, but I thought it was like the Ricky Lucy's, that everyone's using some form of that. Calls like that are really advance the communication too.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, he will be remembered. I think that he's you know, things happen pretty fast over there with everything, and so we just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that he and his family are in everybody's thoughts, and yeah, so wanted to get that kind of cleared up and make sure that everybody is aware. I know that everybody at Core, everybody who's on his teams, all the Vicious previous team guys, a lot of his customers and stuff like that are all kind of reeling from what happened in all the news, because again, it happened relatively quickly. So
All set.
Okay. Let me get this this link here.
Oh, I need to send it to him. Sorry. I was just trying to be.
Sorry.
Pay attention in that. Yeah.
For some reason, yeah, and I would do it. I just can't get the nothing. My phone is no longer connected to my computer. I don't know why or how. The handoff doesn't work. I can't send airdrops to it. This is like a big time first world problem issue that I'm experiencing, and it's been frustrating. I've also been logged out completely from my Facebook. No clue who's controlling my Facebook right now. The the Facebook page itself isn't hacked in a way. I just not sure. Just doesn't work. It just can't log in. So yeah, I've done it all. I've done it all. I've reset. I've reinstalled. I've done it all. I've turned it off, turned it on. I plugged it in. I blew out the little, like it's a Nintendo. So not sure exactly what's going on here. Yeah, Business Suite it's not Business Suite. So I was hacked for a second, and admittedly it was my fault, but I got that one cleared up and everything was good. And then when I was in there, I was trying to connect my Instagram because like I kept sending things to another page, and I'd like the people over at Insta 360 were like, "Hey, I didn't see the pay thing on Facebook," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I realized it. Anyway, they weren't meshing. They weren't talking to each other, and so I was trying to go in there, and then next thing you know, I got no access. I got zero access. Can't add it. I don't know. So if anybody's a Facebook guru out there and can like, and if you Google it, it's like, "Hey, idiot, go to settings and click this and add page." I'm like, that's not that. I'm an idiot, but that's not it. So, yeah. Speaking of Insta 360, I've been meaning to show this one off. They just had like a spring sale, and I got the 360 one, like the full deal here.
Nice.
And so
How much is that one?
This one was on sale. I think it was $400. I want to say it was $429. But they have this program where you can trade in stuff. So I send like a GoPro and one of the 3S's that I had. So we wanted to get one of these things. Cassidy asked. I tried to get it before the event because we wanted to put this in the pit. It'd be kind of cool in the pit. So you get like a 360 view of the pit while everybody's running around in there. So it actually was here when I got home. So it was a little late. But they have this trade-in program where you can send in like your old cameras, even GoPros. I think I actually just found another like 3 GoPros. Like I got like the Series 1, the Series 4, the Series 5, the Series 9. And I think I don't even know what they're at right now. I usually buy them and then I use them for one trip and then I don't use them ever again. So that's where I'm at in my online. Hey, wow, I'm really digging this.
Oh yeah, that's Todd.
I see that. Hold on, I'm gonna make you bigger.
This is how long we've been doing this.
Hold on, let me.
Thank you.
Oh, let's see. You got to move your head a little bit. Wow, dude, Todd with the Air America shirt on.
Yeah, I got Brass Eagle, I think. Is that what that says? Brass Eagle? It's small on my screen, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Old school. Where are you at? Are you at the Rattlesnake Ranch?
Dude, I'm in the Rattlesnake Ranch.
There you go.
Luckily, it's cool right now. So yeah, I don't think I have to worry, but I haven't seen any yet. But I bet last week my algorithm right now on social media is like just firing off all these like Southern California rattlesnakes because I look at it one time and I'm like, whoa.
Yep. Now you're in.
Now I see like people milking gaboon vipers and like, you know, the guy that catches the king cobras in India with like the basket, like when they're in people's houses. I'm like, what is this? But man, right? Yeah.
Make a living.
I mean, I applaud you, man, for being such a fearless snake person that goes into the bushes and seeks them out to like take photos of them. And you
got something that's less stressful than running a paintball tournament. You gotta find something to let off steam.
Man, that's wild. I'll tell you what.
I like that hat, Kyle.
Thank you.
Styling.
I can get you one.
Okay. It's like, what is that? Like a camo pad, a real tree or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is cool. Show my redneck background there.
I've got a tiger stripe clatter hat on too.
Yeah, yours is pretty cool too. Yours is like old school paintball to me, but his is like a Bass Pro Shop special.
Okay, so you're more of well, I just kind of like, you threw me off with the old school.
I used to wear that jersey back. I used to wear a tiger stripe jersey back in the day.
I know, they were cool. We need to bring
cool.
We need to bring it back.
Especially in Florida at World Cup. Those bushes.
I know. There's snakes in there too.
There's definitely snakes in there.
I remember my very first World Cup, 1998. We actually beat you guys. We were amateur, you guys were pro. But when we played,
it's amazing how often that comes up.
No, this is just kind of weird, like a weird anecdote to the story that has nothing to do with it. But when we used to play, like you'd play like out of 8 games, you'd play a hyperball, an airball, or like 2 hyperball, 2 airball, and like 4 in the woods or something like that.
Yep.
And I remember they're like, all right, Ryan, you're gonna run over to this thing, and you're gonna jump in those bushes over there. And then we're gonna make the call, whatever the call is, like the go call, and then you're gonna jump across and run to that pallet over there, all of which are like big time snake zones, And I think that I had heard they just found, or they just chased off a couple of whatever the native venomous snake is.
Coral snake was that. Someone had seen a coral snake that weekend.
Really? I swear it was something more vicious. I know they're venomous, but I think it was like something scarier.
Like an eastern diamondback or something?
I don't know. Or like, do they have water moccasins over there?
There's water moccasins. Yeah, water moccasins.
So they've got them all. It runs the whole gambit out there. So,
yeah, Florida's got it all.
So I jump into the bushes, and I'm supposed to crawl through like the fat, thick, like, snake territory.
Palmettos or whatever.
Yeah, palmettos. And I remember crawling, and I hit my barrel into like a bunch, and then I crawl a little further. And so I was way behind schedule. And so they started making like the go call. They're like the out of control go call. But I was like pretty far away still. And so I had to because I was just super scared of any type of snake in there. I feel like it was warranted though. I made my spot still.
Were you playing with Dynasty or were you playing with someone else?
No, this is 98. We were playing with out of control.
Got it. I don't have. Yeah. All right.
No, yeah.
98 out of control. Yeah, I remember someone coming to me and being like, there's a snake in there. And I never really believe people when they say there's a poisonous snake because I always just think they're whatever. And then sure enough, I went over there and there was a coral snake. I was like, yep, that's a poisonous one. That's
a bad one too. Aren't the coral snakes the ones with the fangs really far back in their mouth?
Yeah. They're rear fanged. So they have a hard time biting you.
You got to bite in the finger or something like that.
They do bite you. I'll give you a funny story. So I'm in Brazil. And there's like a little antidote, like red touch black, venom black, the basic story, right? And
I think hold on, we brushed over that. I feel like we should talk about that a little bit. Just
you catch a coral. If you see a coral snake, there's going to be other snakes that mimic it, right? And so a milk snake looks just like a coral snake, but the colors are reversed. So the saying is red touch black, venom black, red touch yellow, kill a fellow.
Got it.
So the part of the story. So I'm in Brazil at a paintball tournament. And I see a snake, and I do the little thing in my head, and I said, red touch black, venom black. So I catch the snake, carry it off, and put it off in the woods so no one fucks with it, messes with it. And then I'm with this guy, and I said, he's like, have you seen any snakes? He's like a guide. And I was like, yeah, I just saw like this snake, but it's not a coral snake or whatever. So I showed him a picture, and he's like, nope, that's a poisonous coral snake. And he said, you know what, here... And obviously I didn't believe him, right? So I'm like, and he said, no, it's reversed. And I still didn't believe him until I got home. And then I got home and looked it up, and sure enough, the snakes in Brazil reversed. So here I have a picture of me catching a poisonous snake with my hands and just like, just carrying it like a regular snake. Not that everybody catches snakes, but yeah, just carrying it like it's not poisonous. So that's what I get. Because I got bit in Prague, right?
Yeah, which is great.
I got bit in Prague, yeah.
I mean,
we poisonous snake. Had to go to a Czech Republic hospital. Tons of fun.
So explain that process of you getting. First of all, how'd you get bit? What were you doing to get bit? And like what So
I was out for a friendly hike with my wife. She loves when I go for snakes. So we're out for a hike in the beautiful Czech countryside, and I see a snake. It looks like a garter snake. And there's only one poisonous snake in Europe, really. That's the viper, the European viper or common viper, whatever it's called. And I see this snake and I go for it because it doesn't look like a snake that I think is poisonous. And then it pops me as soon as I grab it. And I knew right away that it was poisonous when it bit me because it burns, right? It feels different. And my wife is of course kirking out. She's like, why would you grab a snake and yada yada yada? And I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, it's poisonous. And she's like kirking out, whatever. She's like all upset. She's like, how bad does it hurt? I'm like, it doesn't hurt that bad. So I'm like trying to carry it above my head. I had to walk out like 3 miles, and then I had to drive a stick shift because she can't drive a stick shift. So my arm is like swelling up, and I'm driving a stick shift through Europe trying to get her to navigate, all while she's mad at me because I messed with a poisonous snake. And it was tons of fun. And then I go there and they're like looking it up on Wikipedia or something. And I'm like, this does not. The guy's like wearing jeans and a t-shirt and looking up poisonous snakes in Wikipedia. None of that felt good. But yeah.
I mean, is it not deadly?
It's poisonous, but it's like a healthy human or a healthy adult can just weather it. You know what I mean? So I opted to just weather it. I didn't really trust the Czech Republic anti-venom.
Oh, you didn't even get antivenom. You just got bit in the hand and your hand's fine?
I got bit in the hand, just let it swell all up, and then fly home with it. It was a little sensitive. We're going to call that extremely painful. But I was telling my wife, it's just a little sensitive. But yeah, we just won it. And then the bill was like $38. Because, I was worried. You go to a hospital to get snake treatment and spend like, 5 hours in there. You don't know what it's going to be, right? In the United States, I would have been like, God knows what it would have been. And then,
but you didn't do anything. You guys surfed the internet.
You've been to the hospital? They don't do anything half the time you're there. They just look at it and go, "Yeah, that's $12,000, Mr. Cole." So yeah, I was admitted. They did a bunch of tests and stuff to make sure I wasn't dying or whatever. But it's like $38.
I mean, I feel like you just described like a bee sting.
Quite happy. Yeah, I mean, my hand. I'll send you a picture of my hand at some point. It was pretty swole the hell up. It was purple. Arm was purple up to my elbow.
What kind of snake is a rattlesnake? Aren't they vipers?
Yeah, they're vipers, but there's just a pit viper just means they detect heat through their face.
Okay.
Right? So they're all that. But then in the old world, like Europe and Africa, they just call it vipers that are that wide-headed snake.
Right.
Get a little too deep in the weeds there for everybody, but yeah.
No. This is great. I mean, it's
like the cool snake you saw. It's a very thin type of snake.
Thin
right?
head.
It's got a thin head, right? And then American vipers, which are the really potent ones and very fast, they have the big fangs, and that's why they have the big puffy cheeks, and they have a lot of poison in there. So their fangs actually open up, come out, and then deliver venom, and then fold back in. Whereas a lot of the other kind of snakes, they just have a tooth with a hole in it that they bite and they try and inject venom that way. Like a cobra is that type of snake.
Yeah.
No.
Just so everybody knows, Tom is like a big time, I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, a big time snake person, like a handler.
More of a wildlife guy. Snakes are just part of it, but yes,
I think that snakes trump all other wildlife to me. He tells me this story. I think I've told it on the show before, but you're like, oh yeah, check out this picture of this cobra. I was trying to like get it like riled up out in the wild when you're in Africa. Well, first of all, when you're traveling in Africa, there's no antivenom anywhere. There's no hospitals. Like if you get bit and you're by any snake in Africa, I feel like you're like a several hour plane flight or helicopter away from any type of help. Tom chooses to do the guide, the tours where you don't have a guide. You just rent a vehicle and buy a bunch of gas and then drive off into the woods or bushes and try to like find animals on your own. And he's showing me this picture of a cobra because I've done Africa a handful of times. I love it there. I think everybody should. It should be on a bucket list for everybody for multiple reasons. But I had a guide, obviously, because I'm not crazy. And he's showing me this picture, and he's in this this mud puddle, and there's a cobra kind of like standing up, and he's like, "Oh, how close did you get?" He's like, "Yeah, pretty close." I go, "What if it came at you?" He's like, "I'd move out of the way." I go, "Well, you're in slippery mud. What if you slipped?" And he goes, "I hadn't thought about that." I go,
sometimes you gotta take chances for the good shot.
And he's like,
it's the same paintball, right? You gotta take a chance to get the good shot.
And then he goes, "Oh, you see the tail in this? Like that's a black mamba going into the bushes." I tried to go in there and find it. I'm like, aren't those the most like aggressive type of snake and also simultaneously the most deadly? And he's like, yeah. But I mean, you just got to stay on the right end of it. I'm like, huh?
That's my poor wife's story. So the first time I took her to Africa, the very first animal we run into is a black mamba at nighttime. And I like sent her to the other side of the tree to make sure it came my way so I could get a good picture of it. And she's trying to get me to tell her what it is. I'm like, it's just a snake. Just go over there. And then she obviously found out later. She's pretty thrilled because, it's like her first trip. So she wants to do, she wants to be the good wife and try and, help me with my snake. But yeah, She's pretty happy when she found out later.
Is that a double entendre right there?
Yeah. Which way? Yeah. Good point. Good point. No, that's one of my better pictures. It's one of my better pictures. So I got it. That was good, Ryan. That was good.
Thanks.
I'll give you that one.
Pun intended.
Point for tonight.
All right. Well, by the way, how many times have you been bitten? Just one?
By poisonous snake, just the one time.
I guess.
I mean, non-poisonous snakes all the time. I mean, you know, if you're
How
gonna
about
grab a snake, you're gonna get bit.
Dog, cat, lion, snake. I guess we'll just fire it up.
Oh,
wife.
been bit by all that stuff. Yeah. Hit by most of that for sure.
Well, that's great. I mean, wild.
The comments are going to be great on this one.
No, I think so. You know, it's good to get like the human aspect of you. Make sure that, you know, that you like actually like to do other stuff other than, you know,
other than paintball. Get yelled at by my friends.
Yeah, that's actually good. You should. When we do get to this this level where everybody becomes a TV personality, celebrity, and this reality show comes out, I feel like they need to just follow you around. So there you are, you know, shaking hands for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours for the day, stressed out of your gourd, and then you go over there and you're in the bushes, like shaking the bushes around, looking for snakes and wildlife and things like that. And it's like, oh, Tom Cole also likes to do this. You could be
literally what I do to less stress.
Yeah.
Less stress than dealing with you guys.
So let's talk a little bit about the event. And I mean, how the dust is settled, I would say, officially. So you probably have talked to somebody, Mr. Raymond James himself. How did the organization there feel the event went?
I would say very good. I'd say Ray was happy.
Okay.
Mr. Raymond was happy. You know, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. We'll be back next year in the stadium. Okay. If that's what everyone wants.
I mean, is that something is that what you want? I mean, is this what is the where are we headed with this?
The players want. How's that? Yeah, no, I mean, I think everybody had a good time. I think we've learned some stuff. I think we'll do a better job. I'm not by any means. I think we did a great job for our first try. But you know, there's always stuff that we could do better. So I think next time it'll be, you know, a grand slam instead of just a home run. How's that? I was trying to think of analogies there to say we did a great job, but we did, you know, because the team really stepped up. All of our guys, everybody, you know, from Fatty on across, everybody kind of really stepped up and did their stuff and made it a beautiful event. And everybody seemed to be happy. We got, you know, everybody was, you know, giving us high fives all weekend. So.
Yeah, I mean, I told you the expletive-filled, of excitement, expletive-filled rave review I got from Johnny Perchak. He was like over the moon about how excited he was. I wish I could have recorded it. How pumped he was about that.
And that's kind of gotten that from a lot of people, right? Yeah. A lot of people, and people that have been around, not like people that are like, you know, it's the first time out of their house or whatever. People that played Huntington Beach, people that have played a lot of tournaments. Perchek obviously played HB, right? So, you know, getting those kind of reviews and keeping everybody excited. I mean, that's one of the things, right? Everybody, I think you even asked, you know, what is the goal of this on one of your other podcasts with me? But it's like excitement builds excitement, right? It's like not any one ingredient makes the meal. You need all these different things kicking off to kind of keep things exciting. So, and it's a much better talking point for me when I meet with these other people.
Sure.
I can say, you know, at the stadium. And I did have other leagues, you know, other sports people reach out to me and say, good job, whether it's through LinkedIn or whatever, you know, they're just like, hey, I saw you in the stadium. Good job.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess you could look at it, and I never thought about that. And maybe you and I talked about it briefly, but thinking of it as an investment in paintball's future, even though it costs, I mean, maybe the immediate return on investment wasn't huge, but it could open a lot more doors out there.
Correct. It's basically our reel for everything else we're trying to do, right? It's a proof of concept. It makes everybody feel more comfortable. You know, like every time I talk to a venue, you know, none of the people that we're actually doing business with are big players in the venue industry, right? They're not Raymond James. You know, they're like that field in Chicago, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So this is really the first step, you know? And hopefully there's more stadiums and more premium venues in our future, marquee venues in our future.
Junior asked this, Junior from BFPgear.com. They sponsor Question of the Day. He actually has 2 questions primed here. First was, What did this event teach you about paintball as an entertainment product, and how does that change the way NXL approaches future events and partnerships?
That's an amazing question.
It's a great question.
To have these things queued up.
I should have sent it to you. I know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I think from my point of view, I saw that the fan interaction is important. We'll give Kevin a shout out there. He likes the fan interaction. So
Yeah.
the fan interaction is important. And I'm pretty sure I said it on this show where I said one of our goals this year was to increase our, our fan experience, right? The experience on site. And we did a lot of that. We had the cheerleaders, we threw the swag in the road, we had the autograph signing section. So I think all of that helps the ambiance of the event, and it makes it's a win-win, right? Because the customer feels like they're part of the event. The players and teams feel like they're part of a professional event. So, I mean, and both of those are our customers. So I think that worked well. I do think the matches probably need to be a little longer from my point of view, right? We need to be able to build up. We want to have it feels to me, my opinion is we should have less matches that are longer than lots of short matches, because you don't get enough time to really identify with a team. That's what I left feeling there. Like, because we played we had 4 sets. Is that what we had? 3 sets or 4 sets?
I thought
4 sets. 3 sets. 3 sets. So that's a lot of teams playing, right? In just a little bit of time, right? So I feel like if we'd had less teams and more time to introduce each of the personalities and kind of let people start to really develop who they like or whatever, I think that would have helped us. But I think you need that side ambiance. You need the music. You need an MC to kind of keep things going. We rely a lot on just people's paintball IQ, keeping them excited in the VIP or in the grandstands, and it works. But if you're going to have new people in, you're going to have to keep their attentions, and you're going to have to keep them excited.
Yeah.
Not every point is a Marcelo diving for the buzzer point, right? So we've got to find a way to keep people engaged.
Yeah, and you're right on that. Sorry, it is like you had the jumbotron, which which clearly interfered in a lot of the play that was going on. But if you have an MC in there like announcing what's happening, I definitely think that's a necessity for a lot of people who don't know what they're watching. And at least in between points, I do believe that there was some time that someone could have been like, okay, that was a great point by so and so, la da 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 da. A lot of people are.
And that's the stuff we've got to improve upon, right? And we had some meetings right at that event with ways to try and improve that and make that more of a thing. Because you need someone with paintball knowledge, right? You need someone that can kind of do some stuff, and maybe we even talked about having a direct link to the head referees, or you know what I mean, or Jason, so they can kind of explain some of the more controversial stuff. Like, at some point in time, I just look up and the Russians are on the line with 3 bodies, right? We don't know what happened. Did someone, slam Jason over there in the pits, or did they shoot hot, or what happened? You know what I mean? We just don't know. So all that would help keep people engaged. So
yeah, a lot of people, the 2 comments that I like, or that we're getting the most of is split deck was a problem. That came from Justin Rabikoff, which I think we all talked about. You talked about the economics of scale and time. Cheerleaders were a nice touch, and the jumbotron added the excitement as a spectator. But yeah.
So, and we'll just touch the split deck thing. Like, in a perfect world, we will be at an X-ball match that's a running clock next year, right? So 3-man is kind of the test for the running clock. I think that's something we can move forward with next year. Ticking a couple of different buttons there, right? Whether we make the matches a little longer, however we do that, right? The running clock to me is a solution.
Elaborate on that.
Well, let's just say we went to a 40-minute match, 40-minute running clock, right? Right now you're playing 15 minutes of paintball. If you did a running clock where every point you took away 2 minutes, let's say our average game right now is 11 points. Let's make it 10, so my math is easy. You lose 20 minutes then between points because we're giving you a 2-minute layout between each one. And so now you still have more paintball, but it's a continuous match. So we understand what's going on, because the 3-man is a running clock now, but it's quick and it's short. I think we take that same concept and make it a little longer, and then get rid of the split deck. So instead of having Dynasty versus Impact and then Fit versus X Factor, we would just have Dynasty versus Impact for 40 minutes, and then the next 40 minutes would be the Fit versus X Factor match. So no more split deck.
How would you think?
Concept. This is not a This is not a de facto rule yet. This is just my belief of what we can go to in the future.
No, I think that after your the divisional name changing, I think you go into a focus group. And I think you've learned that one. I know that you didn't just make a new rule.
I do everything in a focus group. Apparently, I just was at the wrong one.
You just sent an email directly to yourself and said, "I like it, Tom.
Yeah,
Thanks, Tom."
I love it. I love it. You know, you do one name change, and suddenly that's what everybody's got on you for the rest of your life.
You know, you got to make sure that like you got that's what everybody's here for. That's what the pundits are here for, is to keep you honest.
Keep us humble.
Well, just honest. I think it's honest. Humbled.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the concept. I think that would be neat. I think it makes it an easier viewer experience because we're getting rid of the split deck. We're also not losing the time. The concern I have about the time. And we also then would add timeouts, because one of my things that I worry about is going back to traditional X-Ball, right, which is the format played in 2004, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
They needed such large rosters that it cost a fortune. And that is a very big concern of mine. So we're going to need to add timeouts, and probably a hefty amount of them, just so people can slow the tempo down when they have to, without because like the question is, do you make all the turnaround times long so that everybody's got enough time, which then just slows the game down to boringness? Or do you give them the opportunity to slow down the game when they need to? And if you're playing two lines, you just want to, just keep switching lines out, you can move pretty fast. And at some point in time, you want to trade someone out or do whatever, you can do that with a timeout. And yeah, feel free to chime in below. I'll read it later to find out if anybody likes this idea.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people are, they just said the 3-on-3. Where did the 3-on-3 for overtime come in? And how does that make anything like
discussed on a call with the owners, with all the team owners?
We're just kind of like, hey guys, we're trying to create this package that is already very extremely difficult to explain, and we got this split deck going on, and we've got these viewers coming in, so we're gonna just randomly just throw overtime, except we're not gonna get what you've been watching this whole time. We're just gonna put 3 guys out on either side. Huh? I just figured this out. I've been watching this for 20 minutes, and I just started to figure out what's going on. Who the red team and the blue team were. Now you're only putting 6 guys out here?
Overtime's overtime, right? You're going to have to explain overtime every time, right?
But why do you make it harder on every single chance? Like we're taking steps forward, and then we're like, you know what? I've got a great idea.
How many times, let's go through a stat here. So how many times do you think the overtime was decided so first you played for 15 minutes, 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get a winner, right? So then how many times percentage-wise do you think it was resolved with the 5 people the next time?
I'm guessing, because you have the stat.
I don't have it off the top of my head. I'm going to get it.
Well, then what the hell are you asking for? Yeah, I thought you looked down. You're like, oh, come on, I got you. I thought you were just baiting.
Come on, motherfucker. Yeah, yeah. Well, it depends on what your answer was going to be. Then I would tell you that I was baiting you or not. But it does happen a lot that it goes to one-on-ones, right? That means the next 5 minutes was just people out there shooting at each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like the 3-man was going to resolve it faster. And if you really hate 3 guys, then just win it in the regular time. Too many people are very happy to go to overtime.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to avoid overtime.
I agree with that, but
I thought the points for system made some interesting games. Especially
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the good moves that we made, right? It definitely helped. I mean, the games were definitely faster, and teams definitely made decisions to try and go for more points. They definitely were making. I had a lot of people say that to me, that they made conscious decisions to score more points, which is what we're looking for.
Yeah, we did the we threw in the towel on one of them, which helped us get in.
Yeah, which was a brilliant move, right? Which is a brilliant move.
Yeah, and it's funny if
that was Crandall.
If it was Crandall, it was Crandall.
I
made the ultimate call and then got the bad looks, but it was Crandall was like, I'm pretty sure this is what we want to do. We talked about it before the game, and I was like, this is what we want to do, right? And they're like, Crandall's like, I think we should do it now. And I go, all right. And then everybody was pissed and like, just trust us. And then it ended up working out. But if other teams,
your pits are pandemonium, because it's like a little miniature democracy of a bunch of know-it-alls. No offense. Right? It's like
Crandall's on it. Eric knows.
Crandall's great. Crandall's great, but it's like every person feels like they have the same equal voice.
Mm-hmm. I think that if there's a couple other teams, if they had known how that worked, they would have made it on.
Well, and that's what's interesting is the evolution of that. We'll call it the gossip, the coach chatter, right? So as coaches learn the system, so early on, that differential thing has always been a problem, right? But no one really knew about it. And then once someone did like some weird move, right? And then someone's like, why'd you do that? And they're like, well, the point differential. I'd rather just let the time run out than just risk losing another point. And then that just kind of evolves and trickles through the league. And then suddenly, you know, even the teams that have no idea what they're doing, they just don't want to lose any more points.
Right.
So the same thing's going to happen the other way. As everybody starts to figure that out, I think our average points for will go up. And I do have that number, I believe.
And what
so our average points in a match last year, I think, was like 5.6. And at this event, the average points was about 7.6. So 2 solid points per match went up.
Yeah, sick. And that's what we want to see.
And in the end, that's not only just what we want to watch, that's what we want to play. No one wants to play a game where everybody just sits out there for 15 minutes and shoots a lane.
I think the 5 pods thing kind of helped that out, and I think it was overall a pretty big win.
Yeah, I think it was a bunch of moves in the right direction. So obviously, I'm the one, you know. If you're the guy telling him turn left and you go left, you're like, see, I told you that was the right way. So I'm a little biased in that category, but the numbers point out that it worked out pretty good too.
Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of snakes that weren't venomous snakes that you picked up and said,
There's
see,
a
I
lot
knew
of
it wasn't,
snakes
I
that
knew it
weren't
wasn't
venomous.
venomous.
Yep.
Told you so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only got you 2 or 3 times.
I caught one snake that I changed the name on, and then suddenly I'm paying for that the rest of my life. Yeah, because now my woman brings it up every time I go to grab a snake. She's like, "You got that one wrong."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got a pretty good system with snakes, and it's just
You just don't grab them.
just don't grab them. I mean, at least here, we only have venomous snakes that rattle. So you can, and there's some that don't. But like for the most part, I don't know how we're back into the snakes situation here, but
I'm pretty sure you have water moccasins there.
no, not in California. Do we?
You don't have water moccasins?
Hell no.
I think you do.
I better not. I hope not.
So,
I don't. You know what?
Yeah, I would just suggest you don't mess with snakes at all.
I don't go by lakes anyway. I don't mess with fresh water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a simple solution. Also, again, like I just try to just limit myself from any interaction with any creature that has the inability to reason and can also kill me at any point in time.
Well, you're safe. They don't have water moccasins out
There we
there,
go.
so I think you're missing out. You are missing out. You're missing out.
What did you think about
go ahead.
the live jumbotron? If you like in the future, would you want to delay it?
So, yeah, I mean, my first thought was that we delay it for 5 seconds, right? And that almost works perfectly because, like, you watch the game, and then when something crazy happens, you look up the jumbotron to kind of get a little bit of what happened. So that wasn't horrible, but I also felt like, you know, it's what, you know, we're always trying to weigh the competitiveness versus the fan experience, right? That's the catch-22, and I think the jumbotron was amazing from that point of view.
It was really cool.
So, you know, we just have to figure that out. But yeah, I wish the players couldn't use it in some way, and there's other ways we can do it, right? We can either try and look at it from a camera angle where we're trying not to show that controversial stuff while it's happening, right? I think that was an eye-opener for us there. You know, you're sneaking down the snake and all cameras go to you, and then they just look up at the jumbotron and be like, what you doing, Kyle? So, I mean, that part would be bad. So we just got to kind of educate our camera guys or put maybe a 5-second delay. I don't even know if a 5-second delay is possible, right? Because that's above my skill set of knowing how that jumbotron works.
Yeah.
There was a point, and I don't think the other pro guys and teams utilized it enough. And there was a point where I think Zach Patient I think he was in the 50 snake, and they were playing X Factor, and Zach was playing on the inside, and it was like the camera was on him. Billy was in snake 2 and was like kind of just crawling down, got to the 3, played a little bit, crawled into the 50, was like looking around, and they were both in there just doing this. And I just like, neither one of them even thought to be like, because in 3-on-3 you have plenty of time to be like, okay, well, I don't see anybody, especially on this field, the way it was laid out. Like you can get to the 50 snake and not see anybody. All you just need to do is go this, and you're like, oh, there's a guy on the other side of me. Oh, and he's looking inside. See ya. And it just,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me that, and I know like when things are going on, it's like you're, you know, in the heat of the moment, I don't know. It just seems like it was like a no-brainer.
Little tunnel vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but how many times have you seen people pass each other with like, there's a crazy snake or whatever? They both go to each other's 40 and are just playing their hearts out.
Yeah. I
Looking
know
for,
it. I know it. I
You
know
know,
it.
and they're
Yeah.
like 5 feet behind a guy.
That happens a lot.
So,
Generally, there isn't
happens
a
a lot.
150-foot video screen in 8K, two of
Yeah,
them.
no, it was pretty clear.
That was
It pretty
crazy how clear it was.
I mean, what Marcelo's thing was the epic one for me, right? Because when I watched him happen in the game, I thought he was clean.
Mhm.
And then you look up at the Jumbotron and it was like, there wasn't even an argument. Like, it
Yeah.
was like huge. So
That was like an epic finale to that match.
that was an epic finale to that match.
So here's the other part of BFP Gear's question. During the Red Legion and Damage match, Junior was sitting near a family who said they had never watched paintball before. They came because they heard it was happening inside the stadium and thought it would be a cool chance to experiencing something new. Did you get any other, or what kind of reaction did you see from fans and first-time spectators? And did it meet what you would hope the stadium event could do for exposure?
So I think it was great for us. Like, I'm always going to say we could have done better, right? We had about 2,500 people come to the stadium, which is a little bit more than the amount of people that we had. We had 5,500 tickets out there, right? So that's more than participants we had at the event. And 2,500 is probably even a little high for amount of participants. So we know we got outside people in there because we didn't count a lot of the players that were actually playing in the tournament when they went through their check-in process. And a lot of y'all just stayed over there in the pits and never really went through the ticketing system. So we definitely got a lot of outside people, and I only talked to a few outside people, but they seemed to think it was cool. You know, it's a lot going on for an outside person, right? But yeah, they thought it was cool.
Yeah, I didn't see any outside people. I didn't meet or run into anybody from outside people. I did see a good amount of people that were wearing like Bucks gear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously paintball players would come in there with their stuff there too, but definitely a good possibility that some of those guys were like, all right, cool, I want to come in the stadium. It was actually really neat watching just the endless, I think I was talking to Kevin when I was down there gearing up for the Hall of Icon stuff, and I was like, how'd it go? He's like, man, that line just didn't stop for like an hour. Just a constant line of people walking that upper area, and it looked very full from that 7 p.m. game.
Yeah, no, it's funny. So I left. So I was in there, and like, let's call it right at the awards part, you know, when the awards started ending or whatever. And I was like, "There's not enough people in here," and I started stress out, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna go see what I got to do, get people in here, right? So I started walking back, and as I started walking, there was just a steady flow of people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was constant. And when you get to the escalator, you know, there's all those people coming up the escalators. So that part was cool. So yes, it filled in pretty good at 7. And then it emptied out. A lot of that was because people had to play and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's all stuff we're learning, right? The time and how stressful all that was for everybody. But we do appreciate all the paintball people that did come out, because I feel like people did make it a mission to check in at least sometime.
Yeah, that is really cool. And then I think there were 3,500 people watching on the YouTube channel, which is pretty solid. It's, I mean, barely above the Spick and Span numbers, but still pretty impressive. All the same.
It is pretty impressive.
So we have Dover I think it's 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. Why do we do it so quick, by the way?
Because we got moved around because of a concert at Tampa. We had to pay a lot of pipers to get that stadium thing, right? So yeah, there was a concert, someone cooler than us apparently. So they moved our dates around. We were constantly in this flex date thing. So yeah. So we moved it up closer to Dover.
And then
so we made a calculated decision there.
Sure. And then the Dover event, is it inside of a stadium or is it still kind of the outside?
It's on the outside of it.
Mm-hmm,
it's on the outside.
That's
we are talking. Okay.
No, go ahead.
We've pitched the idea amongst ourselves and maybe even to some people on that side to say, what do we got to do to be inside one of the speedways? So I think you could see something along those lines maybe in the future.
Speaking of which, have you talked to, has there been any chatter in the NFL or Major League Baseball or any other large scale stadium kind of talk about possibly getting paintball in another venue on the next?
Yeah, we have another stadium that's interested that reached out to the Bucks and thanks to the people that were tagging the stadium, a lot of people tag the stadium in their posts. So then that means other stadiums saw it. And apparently it's a small little network of people that manage the stadiums. So there was a lot of scuttle talking about that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. You know, that's interesting because the way that you mentioned that, because think about it, there's only 32 NFL stadiums, right? Is that 32 teams? And so
something like that.
Yeah, and you add this, like, if you add all professional stadiums, you can MLB maybe, and a couple of them share some places with soccer.
Right.
But it is a very tight knit group of, you know, maybe 100 to 200 stadium type people. But if you do it just the niche of NFL, like, yeah, there's only 32 teams. And if they're kind of following what events, because again, it's also kind of a bit of a pissing contest. Is like, oh, you had the Eras tour at your stadium, or you had the,
yep.
Say that because that's the most relevant music that I listen to these days. But you have you've got this going on, and then, you know, what's over there, and what's paintball, like, what is going on there. And so that actually really is an interesting kind of chain of events that could happen.
I mean, that's really how it works, right? It's like all of it's a small, even the sports side of things is a small world. I was just at a show called Sports Pro the Thursday before I left, Thursday and Friday before the event, not the week before, because I'm usually there a week ahead of time. So I was in New York for that. And, you know, when you're at those shows, they all know each other. Like, I was in a meeting that probably had, let's say, 20 people in it, and every one of them knew each other. So the NASCAR guy knew the soccer guy knew the Formula One guy. You know, they all kind of knew each other. And the cool thing was they had all seen us on ESPN. So when I sat down and I got my badge that says Major League Paintball, they're like, are you the guys that were on TV? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, that was cool. And they all talked about it. And they actually texted Maddie because one of the guys that I met knew them through another friend. So, and said, is this Tom Cole guy legit? I don't know what the reply was, but yeah.
What did he say?
I'm saying, like, you see it, yeah, God knows what he said. But, you know, it's what I'm saying. It's a small world, right? And so it's just those things, you know. And they do, you know, like, I do have guys that'll introduce me. They're like, oh, this is the paintball guy. And then I want to introduce you to the guys from Fox or whatever, and they'll take you over and they introduce them. And I just think you gain more credibility that way instead of just trying to cold call people, is bringing up in a conversation. So.
Well, we're close. We're right there. We are right there. What would you say? You could mention a couple of things that you would do better. Give me a couple of things, like 2 or 3 or 5 things that you wish, like, maybe there's like a top thing, like, I wish we did.
3 or 5.
3 to 5, 1. I don't know. What do you think you could do better? And there's got to be something that you're like, dude, this is where we really blew it.
I think we tried. I think we had too many teams in that final little bit. I think the season opener maybe should have just been 2 teams, right? And then we could have brought them out and done like a true sports introduction, right? Here we have, you know, Ryan Greenspan from Dynasty, you know, everybody goes crazy type deal. We didn't do any of that, right? And I thought the national anthem was cool. That's one of my personal things that I think is cool about events. And, you know, here we are at the same place that a football team does it every Sunday, right? But I think we could have concentrated just more to 2 teams and made that more of a show. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're trying to appeal to a lot of different customers, but I think there we should have just said, this one match is going to be our show. We're going to bring on all the bells and whistles just for this match, and kind of built that up. And then it would have been a more defined amount of time. So we wouldn't have had a trickle in and trickle out kind of situation. Everybody would have showed up at 7. Everybody would have left at 8 type of deal. That's one of the things. And I would have started the marketing way earlier. So we still had a lot of moves with the stadium. And I think we could have marketed it longer, and done a little bit better job with that. We're just now exploring like ways of filling up the pipeline and trying to sell tickets and be like a real ticket-based company, which we're not right now, even though it was free. I mean, that's just something new to us. We don't sell tickets like a concert. And that's a whole different marketing strategy than what we do.
I wonder what you would do, or what you would have to do to kind of ramp up that experience a little bit, because, you know, selling tickets just for the award show and 2 matches is going to be nearly impossible just for the paintball community. So I wonder how you do it. You'd have to add.
That's why the matches have to be a little longer, right? In opinion, right? Because and you could maybe do a double header or whatever, so it's 2 matches or whatever. But 9 teams is a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything we can do to kind of bring a focus to that and just do. We did a lot that day. We did the Summit Awards, we did your thing, we did the 3v3, and then we did the season opener. Right. So there's a lot going on. Sorry, my dog's in the background losing his mind. The mailman.
Oh, you have no idea what's happening in this.
I saw kids walking by, so yeah.
Yeah,
and there's just a horse back there.
There was a horse.
giant
Camille was
cat.
riding a horse back here. There's 4 dogs. There's like some neighbors and there's 6 kids running around. I mean, I'm surprised that things haven't been pulled off of this small little outdoor table that I'm sitting on right now. Have you? I wonder how it would work, or if it's a possibility that you make it like almost, I don't know, you got to like have like a concert or something like that, or like some other draw that brings outside, because you got to get outside people in realistically,
Well, yes and no. I mean, like, you don't want to, you know what I mean? You don't want to be like, they want the cookie, so we're going to put the health food in the cookie, right? If you always need to be a bait and switch to sell your product, that's not healthy, right? So no, I just think we need to find out what the consumers want, which we're doing all the time, right? And then build the product around that. I mean, it's like there's so many things to do on the weekend, right? There's medieval fighting. I've probably mentioned this before, right? I'm like, they email me.
No, but I think that we need to get them. I've seen it online. And
it's like medieval MMA with broadswords and stuff.
So rad.
Yeah, yes, it is. But and they don't have that many people watching it yet, but they're advertising it. They're trying to grow it. That's the challenge for all sports, right? And you don't necessarily just want to just constantly pair it with something else so that you're like, you know what I mean? If that's my opinion.
I do get it. But
and maybe if you did something like at a Gravity Games or something like that, where there was multiple sports going on and people could become fans of us. But in the end, the product we give them almost has to be, they've got to want to just watch paintball. They can't be coming because of the free beer.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of these crossover
The only
events.
way to fill up your band's concert is that you give away free beer, then you're in trouble.
Well, right. But right now, I believe that we're on that precipice of, well, we need more people to come and get eyes on it. So we're talking about, okay, what if we change the format slightly in order to, but we don't know until we know, but we need eyes on it.
Spend money on it. You could spend money on getting the eyes, right? And that's something we don't, as an industry, we don't do that well. Right. So that's something we can do. Are you about to get got? Is that what's going to happen? You're going to get kidnapped right here on the TV?
Yeah. I mean, I had to get 4 stitches in my eye over here. And then these kids got the little bats in their hands. So you never know what's about
to happen. Be scared of that.
What's about to happen to me.
But you know what I mean? Like we do a lot of like grassroots marketing as an industry and all that stuff. Right. But at some point in time, we just need to kind of like start investing in the product as far as that's concerned. We invested in a lot of the product in improving the player experience, in my opinion. There's going to be people that beg to differ there, but now we need to put some of that money into marketing of trying to get regular customers to come watch.
So, with the other concepts and the ideas, when do we plan on testing that out? I know you said kind of like the 3-on-3 is sort of the current.
You talking about the running clock thing?
Well, you talked about maybe increasing some time. I think someone did some math in there. It was like if you did 5 timeouts and you did a minute 15 per the running clock, minute 15 break could work. Where are we going to be, and when are we going to have the time to test these out that's not in real time, essentially?
It's a good question. I think Jason wants to start practicing it sometime in the summer. To have some events where we can, or like a get together, one of your team practices or whatever, where we can practice some of this stuff out. And then we have to also weigh the consequences of that, right? Let's just say we went to an hour match. So right now everybody's playing a 30-minute match, right? With 15 minutes of game time and 15 minutes of stoppage, right? That's what you play currently. So if we went to an hour time slot, is it worth it to go to 2 games? And I'm not saying that's the answer, but those are the compromises we got to figure out, right? Like what is the solution? And I'm not saying that any of these are the correct answer, but that's one of the things we can do. And like one of my questions the other day, is it worth it to go to three 45-minute games as opposed to 4 30-minute games? That kind of stuff. And these are all questions the team's got to answer for themselves.
Yeah, I know. It's just so tough with, it's almost like we would need to go back to like the 4 event, and you do that one, like, remember when we used to have the what was that random event that we would do that didn't really count towards your score, but it did? It was the invitation.
Winter Classic?
No, not the Winter Classic. There was 2 seasonal events.
The
I think we had one.
minors?
Huh?
The minors.
Minors?
Yeah,
The minors. It's almost like we need to go back to having a minor, doing 4 and then a
Funny
minor.
how many people hated the minors, and then it just keeps coming up.
No,
You
but
know,
the
it's
minor
almost
would be
like you
the
just had these smaller events at paintball parks.
well, no, the minor would be used to test out a new format. So we come up with a couple of ideas and be like, okay, here's what it is. Because otherwise, we have these invitationals, right? Where it's like, okay, 4 teams get together and we test out all these different kind of concepts. It's not film. It's like, it seemed rushed.
And no one cares. So everybody plays more aggressive.
Yeah,
Right? That's the inherent problem with all that.
if you do the minor event as this is format A, this is format B, the running clock, the this, the that, and we film it and we create the package and everything, and you still have a prize package and maybe even give series points for it, so people do care, people do show up, and it's like a big thing that you actually you release the layout, so you treat it as almost.
I don't hate the idea.
You know,
I don't
and that's your focus group. And then you have the fans that will just help decide. You'll run it with Go Sports. Otherwise, you're sending 2, 3, or 4 teams, and I think you did this. Kyle said, I think he was part of it in Dallas that one year, and you guys did like 4 different formats, and you did it, crammed it into 2 days. So you kind of like rushed, and that's where you don't take it seriously. That's a really hard one to test because you got guys just kind of practicing a little bit, and the format was like, oh, that was kind of cool. Now, right now, it seems like we're throwing these ideas out, and we're like, okay, we'll try it next year, or we'll try like a summer run of ideas, and then like we'll implement it next year if it works. I just feel like if there's nothing on the line, like you said,
Yeah, people are going to play it differently.
They're going to play it differently, and so you're going to get this like, whoa, that was so cool.
We do have a lot of smart brains in the industry, right? So when we pitch an idea, yep, thank you, Ryan, and that's why I call you. You know what I mean? Like, you guys will find holes in everything that we pitch, and so you don't necessarily need to play it out. We can see how it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like me and Kevin made a joke. You know, I'm watching like the Beast games or whatever, and I'm like, ain't nobody moving. I can tell you whoever come up with that game, both teams are just going to sit there. And because we can see the evolution of a game in people's mind thoughts, right? Because we've been dealing with it forever, right? When we designed the ICPL, did we really think people are going to sit out there for 15 minutes with 2,000 rounds each and shoot at each other in the woods and come back with 20 people alive? No, but that is what we do. I'm like, so you guys just sat out there and just shot at a tree.
Well, I mean, it has been likened to chess with paintball guns, and chess is not fast unless you force people to be fast, or you reward them to be fast, or you punish them for not being fast.
We love this chess with gun things, but I mean, have you watched a lot of chess? Have you?
No, it's boring as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also don't watch a lot of paintball. I just play it. It's exciting to play. It is, you know.
I do think people like watching it.
I do too, yeah. and that's great, right? I think that people really now here it is, right? We are in a niche sport, okay? And
very niche.
And I think people who have a love for the game can really watch it and dissect and be like, dude, that was like, how disciplined was that? You know, watching somebody who's incredibly disciplined in what they do is very rewarding if you are also disciplined. However, a lot of people don't really appreciate that. And I want to say this broadly speaking, like a lot of people, I don't know, that's not objective by any means, but I feel like if you take like the UFC fight or like boxing, the reason that boxing is kind of like has lost market share to UFC is because boxing is objectively less exciting if you want action. Now, if you're watching something very technical, you can say like Floyd Mayweather, for instance, is very technical. it's not a very flashy or exciting fight, but he wins all of his fights because he does everything correctly, right? That's how Damage wins 1-0 or Impact wins 1-0, because they're not making any mistakes. They're happy with this win, and that is considered a win. It's just great defense can also help you win. So the league, we need to
great defense wins championships, loses viewers.
There it is. That's a great example, right? Now, there are people who are like, will be absolutely just mesmerized with that type of play. But I think if you are trying to get viewership and trying to get new people to watch, you can't have regular chess. You got to have speed chess. And then you got to have it be exciting. You got to have some sort of action that is rewarded in some fashion. And I think that the new scoring system definitely helps. But once you get out of the prelims, that's not a thing anymore.
We're right back to we're right back to
just I just need to win, and that's the smartest way to do it. And it's frustrating, right? So
it is frustrating.
So when the argument can easily be made that paintball is extremely exciting to watch, whether it's fast or slow, if you've got the mind for it and you've got the patience for it to dissect that.
I love paintball, and I get bored out of my mind when y'all are out there playing a 1-0 game and no one's moving, everybody's just shooting where they think someone might try to go in the future. No, I find that extremely boring, and I love the game of paintball. So I think you got to be, and we've talked about this, right? You need people trying to attack objectives or goals or whatever it is that are micro objectives to keep people moving. But that's a deeper, bigger conversation. But yes, I do believe that there's stuff we can fix. But once again, I call this my money under the mat theory. Have I given this to you?
I want to hear it.
My money under the mat theory. So if you take money and you stick it under your mat outside your front door and you stick $10 under it, right? You wait a couple days and you go out there and no one's taking the money. So you put $20 under it and you wait a couple days. No one's taking the money. You go out there, you put $100 under it. And no one comes to get the money. And we keep thinking as a sport, we need to put more money under the mat. That's why no one's watching. And that's the format debate, right? But the reality is we just didn't tell anybody the money was under the goddamn mat. Right? If you'd have told anybody there's free $5 under the mat, they would have went and got it. And so we spent a lot of our internal effort trying to improve the format to what we think needs to be, but we don't really keep showing it to other people. And that's kind of like, the ESPN test, right? We're showing it to ESPN. And those people give me feedback, you know what I mean? Like even when I was just at this last show, the guy's like, I think you guys are messing up because of A, B, and C. I watched your show. And I just had the guy from like the head guy for marketing for the Major League Table Tennis. He was like, I've been thinking about your sport. Let's meet in Vegas because I'm going to be in another show in Vegas in a couple of days. And he's like, I want to talk about some ideas I got that I think could speed your game up. So people are watching it and they are enjoying it and they are coming up with things. We just need to make sure before we go changing a bunch of stuff to make sure we're fitting the needs of the outside world. We just got to make sure we showed it to enough people.
No, I agree with that. I definitely do.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nothing's changed from, if you look at our player base, right? From that point of view, we played 15 in my lifetime. We played 15-man, 10-man, 7-man, race 2, true hour-long X ball. Race 2 is what the PSP was.
Got it.
Right? True X ball, hour-long matches with people just machine gunning each other with penalty. What are you doing there? You got excited.
No, I thought you seized up on us.
And then all this stupid shit in the middle, and yet you are still playing the same game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if tweaking the formats have as much of an effect that we desire, and we just need to start testing it with other people, right? And just kind of putting it out there and not giving up quickly. Because I mean, look at UFC. UFC is a success story, right? They failed for year after year after year, right? It was bought out of bankruptcy, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just not the fact that people are beating each other in an octagon that made that successful. It was marketing and telling the story and all that other stuff that everybody's got to think for. I mean, even the NFL didn't do well forever, right? It's really in the modern era that it's been this huge success story. So it takes time.
Yes, it does. And I think you just mentioned something that I think can kind of hit it on the head about telling the story, right? I still believe, and I know that ESPN really wants this live element. They want this pre-recorded element. I just think that we've missed the mark on telling the story and creating fans that way. Because people, you know, another tried and true method, and this has also helped propel the UFC, is 25
I
or
know what you're going to
30
say. And
yeah, reality TV.
We filmed a pilot for it last weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Problem solved. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Netflix was there. That was part of the argument about some of the incidents we had. As I was like, you know, here we are trying to showcase this, and I'm dealing with this incident. The incidents. The incidents. So yeah.
I still, you know, a little harsh. The mooning, I think is
little harsh.
The mooning and the vulgar gestures. I feel like, you know, when people are put on camera in front of a lot of other people, the mob mentality, they got to do something that excites people. And when you don't know what to do with your hands, you got to flash the screen or do something vulgar. And I feel like that is their inner child.
Yeah, and I'm not. No,
which is unacceptable. But peeing behind the thing, you know, out of sight.
We're not going to go down this whole route.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not going to hold it against the people for the rest of their lives. I'm not mad at what they did. You know, we've all done stuff that was stupid or a mistake or out of context or whatever. It was, but we had warned everybody not to be on their best behavior, and just a couple days before the event, we were under a lot of pressure, you know, to make sure this thing goes. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was an inopportune time, and we've moved past it.
Okay.
And hopefully everybody's learned.
Hopefully,
what you should and should not do in my presence.
No.
What was that? I mean, some of it was just unlucky, right? I mean, and I always say this, right? I'm just thankful that there wasn't so many cell phones around when I was young. You know what I mean?
That's the truth.
Like, but I had live reports on this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, here's the person that did this. This is his PBLI number. This is when his first match is. This is his name, his street address. Here's Google Maps to him. You know, people were not messing around. Like, we were getting instant reports on this stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's necessarily going to be a negative to us on our chances to get like some type of outside deal, but we would like our pro players to be, you get treated how you want to be, you know, you act the way you want to get treated. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing, right? If you want my job, you start wearing around khaki shorts, khaki pants and a blue shirt, and you might just end up with the job.
Yeah. Do your shorts zip off at the knees? Your pants?
You know, I used to when I was younger, but I don't know if you've probably never seen me in shorts. I don't wear shorts a lot.
That's true.
But
that's for Dave.
But no, my pants don't zip off.
Okay.
I'm a long pants. If you're going to places that I want to be able to, you know, it's like, I can't remember who said it, but they were like, it was SK. SK was like explaining to someone in Europe because they were picking on my outfit. He was like, I mean, but if a safari breaks out at any point in time, you know Tom is ready. And I thought about it. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you need the pants for the safari, and then
correct.
You're back to the villa.
Yeah, exactly. So I go, but you know, if you're gonna, you know, I'm always in like long grass or doing something stupid, so I like long khaki pants. And
yeah, you gotta always be prepared.
I can go to a meeting. I can go catch a snake, take a picture of a bird, whatever I want to do.
But you can't go to the pool, Tom.
Can't go to the pool. Can't go to the pool.
So. Do we have anything else that we got cooking up? Any other top secrets that you want to talk about before
I think we're going to be able to drive in the stadium on the NASCAR track. I believe we're going to have a special option where our players can go on Saturday and drive around the track.
Like they're
in your own car, in your rental car. You can do whatever you want.
Wait, are you? Hold on, stop. I just wish you were joking on that last part because Kyle was kind of excited. Why don't
the minivan?
Look,
it's true that you can take your rental car in there. I don't know what all the rules are because I am not NASCAR.
No rules.
But, you will be able to go out and drive your car around the NASCAR track.
Okay.
It's left.
Can I just?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Can I just give you just like a small bit of possible social media gold here, like marketing gold? Why don't you just rent like 5 supercars for the day? and let some of the guys rip around the track with a driver or whatever it may be, because I guarantee that they have access to doing something like that rather than me and my Chrysler Pacifica going around the track at 50 miles an hour,
So
which
they
is
do
like
have another
cool,
option.
but so lame.
Yeah, there's a couple options that they have, and but we'll let them handle all those options, not us. We're not a NASCAR track roll around thing. And no, I'm not renting someone a car so they can drive around, and whatever's going to happen from a liability point of view on my side, I'm not helping with any of that.
No, but
So
I think
we put people on TV one time, and we're 100% failed at our chances at TV of like, let's be our best behavior today. Fail. So now I'm not putting you in a car that we rent and let you drive around someplace.
just give it to the responsible people like Spicka. John Woodley will be there. Harris Hussein.
This sounds like a perfect thing for the Dynasty Club.
Yes, even better.
There you go.
Let's do the Dynasty Champions Club.
Dynasty Club, yeah, Dynasty Champions
Well,
Club.
you should actually do it for us, seeing as you didn't give us the viewing experience that we normally did, and there was a fence in the way.
Yep.
And so we were a little bummed about that, and the champs were as well. So maybe we can make it up to us by letting the Champs Club players go onto the NASCAR track.
Isn't there an option when you rent your car to get like full coverage?
Yes.
And then we could do a derby.
Mm-hmm.
We could like let everyone on the track go around.
Dude, I've always wanted to do one of those derbies. They put like pillows on the cars and like dress each other up in like football uniforms and drive the cars.
You have a little horse thing right behind you. You could do it right there. And let's just talk about it's always funny when Dynasty guys feel like they're not getting like a fair shake at stuff at the events. That's always one of my favorite things. Oh man, Dynasty, there's just the underdogs and everybody's always picking on them and the refs never give them a call. And it's just hard being a Dynasty guy. It's so hard.
It's tough, man.
I know. It's like you got only so much room on the wall for the trophies and stuff. So, yep. I'm not the most compassionate for that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, we got screwed in our Russian match.
Do we got? I'm sure them Russians, they have a hard time playing against anybody. Give me the hard questions so I can go now. Is there some questions in the chat bot there?
Oh, yeah, there were. I mean, that was probably one of the harder questions. Is I just feel like you have an opportunity to get some gold out there, and just, even if it's just like a couple like the top 5 or 10 guys.
We're currently talking to them about how that's going to work, so I'm not going to completely discount your idea of running a smash 'em up derby in the NASCAR track 2 weeks before they run a NASCAR race on it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's no problem.
You can replay.
I thought you just said that we're allowed to do that.
We are allowed to do it. You're not allowed to ram people.
I don't want to ram anybody.
Who says?
Just want to drive around, rev the engine.
I said.
But wait, that's like one of those things. Maybe you could ask.
I was going to call on you, Kyle, a while ago because I felt like you weren't talking that much, and now I realize why you weren't.
Yeah, I needed to know. I need the interesting subject.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Good comeback. That was good. We'll give Kyle a point for that one too.
So this is interesting
Ryan
too.
And Kyle are dunking on me.
Yeah. So I actually, it's funny. Verbal mentioned something in here about some video game not knockoff, but kind of copying some of the whatever Counter-Strike and video game-esque type rules and concepts. And I remember I walked into a meeting a year or two ago, and you guys were talking about putting just a more urban type of paintball environment that you'd set up. What about, I mean, how far out are we from kind of testing a completely different look and feel?
60 days.
Excuse me?
60 days, less than 60 days.
So
we have something that works. I'm not going to go any further than that, but yeah, we are already on something.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. Okay. So we're testing out a new format in less than 60 days.
Correct.
So after Dover.
After Dover, before Cincinnati.
All right. Well, there we go. Okay, cool.
Counter-Strike-esque.
Counter-Strike-esque. I did see, I think, something on...
I call it UWL-esque because I think they stole my rules, but...
UWL... Oh, you think Counter-Strike stole your rules?
Yeah.
Okay. I was watching something online one time, and by watching, I just kind of popped up and I watched a couple minutes of it. But I think there's like a video game where you have like balloons on your back or something like that, maybe? Is there a video, like a first-person shooter where there's like balloons on your back? and those like, if you get shot, you lose a balloon. Maybe it's like your life meter.
I have no idea what you're talking
I don't know.
about.
I feel like these guys were replicating this video game, and they put these guys in with there's not Mario Kart. It was like a first-person shooter game, and like your balloons are like part of your life or something like that. But these guys had these little balloons on their back, and they put.
So no, it was a BB. I know what you're talking about. It was,
yeah,
it was
they put
either
everybody in
airsoft
this.
or BBs where you shot the balloons, and then when you ran out of balloons, it was over.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it was. It might have even been Beastman playing an airsoft game or something.
It was like they hid guns everywhere, kind of like a video game.
Where you had to shoot the stuff with the band. Yeah, I've seen that as well. I'm not putting balloons on a bunch of people's backs. And
No. But the idea is similar. So because I think they used airsoft BBs, right? Because if you pop it there, but if you use paintball guns, you hide like the paintball guns all over the field. You get like you get a cool gun, but you got to get the ammo and stuff like that.
So that's. And I'm like I watched the Beast games not because I enjoy the Beast games, but just because I was trying to watch games, right? Like this is a phenomenon, a reality show type gamification of stuff, and I think there's a lot of parallels to paintball, right? There's ways we can create stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be the format that we have, right? So we'll leave that dangling there for people to think about. Outside the box, we have to think outside the box.
And we got to tell people that there's money under the mat.
You got to tell people there's money under the mat. Could be the coolest thing in the world.
It could
right?
be.
We could have the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, there it is. We could.
So
just, sitting on the pile.
Yep.
All right, Tom. Well, I appreciate it. I'm sure you got to go heat up some dinner. And
I'm gonna go heat up some dinner.
Come on, what are you gonna have tonight?
A chicken pot pie. And I'm so happy about
it. Yeah.
My wife's away today, so I'm making chicken pot pie. That's how that goes.
What's the pies that are similar to that you love, Ryan, from Australia?
Aussie pies?
Yeah.
Meat pies.
Shepherd's pie?
Shepherd's pie. Same thing, yeah, basically. I don't think that's Australian. It's English,
it's
right?
English, pie, more potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. And Irish. Yeah,
there it is.
So people that speak the same language as us.
All right, well, I appreciate it for coming on as always. I look forward to seeing what we have and scrutinizing everything that you do. But
thank you with some sweet text along the way.
You're welcome. I'm glad that you now got my reference. Now we know to tell people there's money under the mat. Maybe increase the ad budget.
That was your kind way of saying to tell people there's money under the mat.
Yeah, I think I've come to grips that I don't know that I'm gonna make it big on the big screen here in paintball on my days, but maybe somebody who's watching this might still have an opportunity. Maybe Hara.
Well, I think he's got that's why I'm working so hard to try and do it before you retire. And luckily, you just keep giving me more time. So it's like a soccer match trying to get you all the big money, right? We're just like, I don't know how many more years has he got. I don't know. We're just gonna keep adding time to the end of it.
Yeah, so, I feel like the wick is burning thin right now.
How's the shoulder?
It hurts. I have had 2 ortho appointments, 3 ortho appointments. I go in for PRP on Monday at Phil from Pro Peptides in Arizona, and then so hopefully.
And you talked to Justin, right?
Yes, I did. I got Justin. I did a virtual consult with his ortho. He's a guy by the name of Lance. I also went to like a top sports doctor here. We did a bunch of the Chargers and stuff like that here in San Diego. He seems to think that it's slightly less bad than what the imaging reading was. He said, do PT for 6 weeks and do PRP and then kind of call him back then, and hopefully we don't need surgery. He said I still might need surgery, but
I mean PRP.
I can move it around, huh?
What is PRP?
Platelet-rich plasma. So it's like a Ross or Kirkland version of stem cells. It's been around. It's been around for a while. You spin your blood around. Do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll.
All right.
It hurts. I heard it really hurts.
Got it.
So
that sucks.
I'm excited about that.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Ryan, let me help you pick rental cars out for this next event.
Okay.
All right, Cal.
All right, Tom.
Thanks for stopping by.
No, thank you. I'm gonna hold you to the hat though.
I got you.
I do like the hat. All right, you're the man.
Send me your address. I'll ship it.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
Just
put it in the
Thank
his
you.
address in the chat.
Not happening.
It's good to put your address in the chat.
My cell phone is already out there. I'm gonna give you a great story. I had some guy. This guy's gonna hate me, but like the other night, like at 9:30 at night, so I just get a random call, and I'm in the middle of some other thing, so I'm answering all my calls regardless of where it is. And it's a guy that's like, he's just stoned out of his mind, in my opinion. And he's like, "Hey man, I wanted to talk about this game," and I was a witness, and I was like, "All right." And then so I said, "Were you playing in the game?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, you're not a witness, man. Then you're a co-combatant in it. You're not. You can't say you're a witness." But anyhow, so then he hangs up, calls back 10 minutes later. He's like, "I need you to FaceTime me because I don't believe you're who you are." And I was like, "You called me." And he's like, "Yeah, but I don't think this is Tom Cole." And then like I laughed, and he's like, "And that laugh just proves you're not Tom Cole." And I was like, if you really knew me, you'd know that laugh was exactly the fact that it's Tom Cole. So I hung up on him, and then he FaceTimed me again. And so then I answered the FaceTime. He's like, "I'll be damned, it is Tom Cole." I was like, this fucking guy. And I told him I was just going to randomly start calling him at 2 a.m. and just saying, "Who is this?
So who was it?
Can you please FaceTime?" I'm not giving his name on TV, but you know, it was just hilarious. And no, it's not like a friend. It's not like a person that we know. You know what I mean? It was a player, a customer. Because apparently my phone is just out there. But yeah, it was great. It was the highlight of my my evening. And I'm like, it's 9:30 at night. I'm supposed to be having dinner with my wife. He's like, "I need you to FaceTime me now." And I'm like, "You called me. You called me." Oh, man, that was one of my more fun moments of the week. These are the things I live for. Live for. All right. On that note, I'm out of here.
All right, you can turn the TV off now.
My chicken, bye-bye.
Yeah,
Right,
enjoy your
Hey, Tom.
Healthy first. Alex gets so mad at me when he sees what I eat.
So good.
It's like, that's not real food. That's why we don't have dinner with Dynasty.
No, it's all right. I mean, I had a bowl of cereal or something like that for dinner the other night.
Yeah, so just don't tell Alex. He's very judgmental.
Okay, I won't.
Very judgmental. All right.
All right, see you,
Thanks,
Tom.
Bye.
We got a special guest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Founded back home in the space.
Perfect timing.
Dude, that was great, man.
Hold on, I gotta mute this.
Ryan, did you see what I made?
No.
Yeah. Look at your text. Or I can put it in here.
Well, I want to see it.
The legal beagle, legal beagle.
Dude, I'm an AI wizard.
I like it. Oh, base.
So
44.
I didn't get to hear all of it. What was he talking about? The formats? Something formats?
Oh, you're not talking about the cars?
Oh no, that I left when he started talking about that.
You never left.
So, I guess there is in the works. There is a format that they are discussing, kind of changing up a little bit to test out. Well, there's a bunch of format things that we talked about.
I wish he would have said who was testing it, because I mean,
I think that's a big factor.
Yeah, that's really important.
Right. It sounded like there are a couple of things. One, they're going to test out in the summertime some of their new concepts that they have
Okay.
for the running clock, whether it should be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, how many timeouts you get. But you know, one of the things that we mentioned was it was kind of like, if there's nothing on the line, people don't really care, and then they're not going to pay attention to what the actual rules are. I suggested they just go back to just 2 challengers events next season, or just throw 2 random events, even if it's a full event in the summertime, where there's new rules. You film it, you treat it like a real one, and you make it there so there's prize money on the line, so that people
Like a winter classic.
Yeah, like a winter classic, where the people would actually pay for it. Like if you're paying for it, you actually care. And then the other one was when we talked about bringing up like the concept of Counter-Strike or whatever, Fortnite or whatever the video games are, World of Warcraft or Minecraft. that they
Yeah,
should
we can
make.
all tell you weren't a gamer the second you started talking about games.
I've played Halo. Like I owned one of the original Xboxes. I had a Nintendo when I was growing up. Like I'm a gamer. I just when it went onto the internet, it just when you stopped buying the CDs, like I was like, what do you mean? Where do I put the game? So yeah, he mentioned that they were talking about some new format concept that they're going to somebody is going to test out.
Yeah.
Not sure how
he was way too secretive.
He was. Well, he didn't want to say everything on TV, you know.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful what you say on TV. His boomer and the boomer in him came out.
You never know when you never know when things are gonna get full safari. I was like, huh?
Oh shit! And I think what would be good is suggesting something like you just said. You know, like a winter classic-esque, or you just invite 4 teams. You know, you get like 2 slow teams, one like that kind of can play both, and then like a fast team. If you want to really test a format, because then you can see all aspects. Like, okay, how does the fast team play against a slow team? How do 2 slow teams play against each other? What does that look like? Because you can't force 2 slow teams to play fast, no matter what kind of rules you change. You know, like even in the five pods, I think I heard it briefly. He said something about like the points per game went up about like 2 points per game. But then hearing that, it was still like low. It was like 4.4 to 6.2 or something like that. That's still really low compared like to points per game.
Yeah. Well,
Only
you also
6
play
points?
on the Russians, so.
Yeah, I know. We always like smash everybody
you
in points played.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
like
know.
double
You're
the
like,
amount
I don't get
always.
it. Why? How on earth can somebody only score 4 points in a game?
But even at like this layout was to hear 6 points per game is still crazy to me.
I agree with that.
That's crazy.
Which means that there were some like 4-point or 3-point games, you know?
Right, exactly.
Real quick for the non-gamers out there, I'm sure there's more of them, but what exactly is Battle Royale?
Battle Royale is pretty much
all.
like, yeah, it's free for all. But the way it works is you like how in a video game you like drop into this map, right? And then when you drop in, you can loot different guns and get your loadouts and whatever. And then when you die, like that's it. Some games have like a respawn mechanic or like a gulag if you're playing Call of Duty, whatever it is, they have respawn mechanics. But really is whoever the last team or the last man standing wins the game.
That's a pretty good explanation.
Okay. But if you lose really quickly,
time, Kyle.
If you lose like really quickly, then you just have to sit there and like not play the whole time.
Yes, you just
don't
have to
have to
sit
sit
there
there.
and not play. Well, in the video game world, you can just go to the next match.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're so bad, you drop in, you die, you just keep loading in, and you drop in and you die, and that's
But like
it.
some of them, like if us 3 are a team, and then you add Tom in there, and then like Ryan, you and I, like we died. They have Tom and Rab. They have to like get some money and buy us back, or we just have to sit there and watch.
Cool.
Depending on the game, depending on the game you're playing.
You could just say you have to go up to JT for some work. I have an Xbox. You come over and we can play.
Oh, that's exactly what I don't need in my life.
Tell Camille you gotta.
I gotta go do some shipping.
JT to do some
new
shipping.
addiction.
Yeah. What is search and destroy?
So search and destroy is typically you have bomb sites. So one team is defending, one team is attacking.
I like that.
And one team has to then go to this bomb site or the plant site, whatever it is. And then you either plant a bomb, and then after a certain amount of time, it either blows up, or the defending team defuses it. But that's pretty much like what it is, like in a simple way.
Like
Yeah.
you're doing planting crops out there.
That's what I'm doing. And then I got to guard
Yeah,
the
where
crops.
where are you?
I'm in Ojai, not Ohio, Ojai. It's like,
Ojai, California?
that's it. Yeah. It's just above Malibu and Ventura, LA.
That place looks like it would catch on fire real fast.
It is fire country. Yeah, this is all.
Okay. All right.
We
That
just
makes
planted.
sense.
But there was a big field right here that was like 8-foot tall weeds and stuff, and they just mowed it. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if anybody here is in the oil industry business, but oil is pretty expensive these days. From what I like, a little just over $100 a barrel. Jared, I'm sure that you know the exact price. There is oil literally oozing out of the ground here. Like
Really? Why aren't they drilling out there?
You could take a ladle and just fill up your gas tank if you wanted to, or wherever you put the
Where
I
oil.
wonder if there's just not enough to drill, or if there's
No, there's
drilling
this area is like a big, like this whole upper Ojai and Ventura, like from Huntington Beach north, there's like a lot of oil production here in California.
Oh, okay.
But
Why do you want to look for it?
Well, you don't have to look for it. It's like I can like right down the street. There's like it literally looks like a waterfall.
No, but like on your property there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just dig down in the ground you'll hit oil.
Yeah, why aren't you?
Why
Isn't
am I
that-
not? I don't know. I'm not like a oil expedition type of person. I just don't know if it works like that. I don't know if the
All
oil
you need to
companies-
do is watch that show, The Landman. You'll get caught up real
I've
quick.
watched it all, but you know, I just feel like there's something else. Yeah, diesel photos. That's where I am. I'm off the 33. That's us right there. Or maybe it's the 126. I'm not sure, but yes, there's oil fields all over the place, and there's like an oil pump like right there, and there's one like way up there. But on the drive up, there's like it's literally oozing out of the rocks and like puddling on the ground.
Yeah.
It's wild. So
Wait, were you at the? I think they either did it last year or 2 years ago. Were you at was Dynasty at that thing where they did the? It was at X Factor. You weren't there?
No.
Yeah, I remember that they
They
and
did. Kyle was
apparently
there.
because I talked to the Impact guys, they said that they tested like 8 different formats,
Too much.
but they said that it all played exactly the same. And I was
Right.
like, how is that even possible?
right.
Like, if you're really doing different formats, how could they all play exactly the same? That's,
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Talking to some of these people out here, just
Yeah. I mean, I think I had a cool idea. I think that just sports, I just feel like team sports in general are possession based, and I think that that's kind of where it is. Now we get into a possession type base of game when the clock and the score change dramatically. So if it's 0-4, for instance, with 4 minutes left, the team that has 4 points is more or less on a defensive kind of posture. But for the first little bit on a back and forth game, you don't know, like you don't know what to expect. So you're watching this game, and it's hard to predict what's going to happen. Now, where you watch like, you know, baseball, hockey, tennis, football, you're watching one team on offense, and the possession changes fluidly,
Yes.
like in hockey and basketball. But one team is driving towards the goal, and the other team's defending, and then the possessions changes, and then they're going back the other way. But it's very clear what's happening on the field. One team's pitching on defense, the other team is hitting on offense. One team is, you know, trying to score a touchdown, the other team's trying to stop the team from doing that. And I think that's something that should be explored in some fashion. So that way you're getting an exciting outcome, right? You're seeing something that's exciting
yeah.
in real time, and the commentators can say, okay, you know, the Russians scored on their first possession. Now they're on defense and they have to stop Dynasty from scoring. And if they can do that on this round and score on the next one, they're probably going to, you know, they're in a good position to win the match, and they're 4 downs or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I've been talking about a format like this for years, where it's literally attack and defend, but it's two halves. So
Yeah.
you have in the first half, like whether you're on attack or you can flip a coin, it doesn't matter. Whether you're on attack in the first half, but in the second half, then you are now defending and the other team is now attacking.
Yeah, you score
And you
many
could
points.
literally have the same thing, the buzzer on the one side. It could literally be that way. The switch would be seamless, like
Yeah.
for people who already watch, who already play. But really, all you're adding is, because problem with paintball, and everyone agrees with this, is we have no focal point. But if you have a format like this, you create a focal point in terms of the actual format. and you pretty much tell the audience who is watching, whether they're new or old, or they don't know paintball, or they already do. You then say, hey, Dynasty is attacking in this half. That's very basic to understand.
Exactly.
So as a mom or a newcomer that comes onto the scene, and you're like, okay, my kid's watching, and then the kid explains it, hey, this team is attacking and they have 10 minutes to score as many points as they can in this half. And then in the next half, then they have to then defend against the other team who is now trying to do the same thing. It's so simple. And now, is it a perfect format? I don't know, because I've never seen anyone actually test it. But it does fix those problems that we currently have in terms of a focal point. Like an audience, it makes it easier for them to understand and grasp just at a basic mechanic. Now all strategies but every sport has like strategies, nuances that make them, peculiar, right? And we have ours, but at least on a basic level, you can go, hey, this team's attacking, this team's defending.
Exactly.
And the viewer can go, oh, yeah, I understand what's going on. Right now with split deck and the way it is, and when a buzzer's called or something hits and everyone dies, and they go, what? Who won?
Yeah.
Wait, why is this team out here? And you're like, fuck. And then now I have to explain like a whole bunch of other jargon, which like they're obviously not going to understand. And so now they're way behind, and they can't even keep up of like what's going on in the split deck. They have no idea what's going on. It's impossible to teach a new person to understand paintball in a matter of like even people who are familiar with sports. It's tough, the way that split deck and everything is going. And I think that Go Sports or Major League Paintball, whatever it is now, what the name change, I don't think that they do a good enough job of like creating drama, showing stats, and then between points. And obviously split deck is limiting, and that's split deck at the end of the day is really what's hurting everything. But there's no real good like instant replays or analysis like through the game. Like, hey, the one thing when I watch football, what I really like about Tony Romo casting is when he calls a play and then that play actually like happens, you feel like you're a part of it. You're like, oh yeah, like, and you're like with Tony on that announcing. We just don't have that right now. You know what I mean? Like there's none of that analysis. There's no like good instant replays of showing why this happened. Like, the beforehand, the really analytical point of view or a stats point of view of like, hey, watch out for this player. They're playing good, like going in like a good head to head. Here's their stats. They don't do any of that. There's no infographics.
Well,
there's none of these things. And I'm not trying to bash them. It's tough, but
I think it's tough from a budgetary standpoint. I think Maddie has to crunch a lot of the numbers, and then what really kills it is the split deck. You can't focus on one thing, right? When you have 45 seconds to recap the previous point and also set up the next point that's coming out. And then by the time you want to talk about something that had happened like 1 or 2 points ago, you've already now been interrupted and just kind of thrown off kilt by what just happened in the most recent point. God forbid there's any controversy that happens and you're like, okay, well now I got to talk, like, hold on, now this is always completely sidelined. So, and you're right. I just think that, there needs to be more human beings or more analysts that are there to be able to provide Maddie and Todd in the booth with more information. And then on top of that, you got to take into account that, like, what is it? Maddie commentates for 10 hours,
Yeah.
because of the 45-minute break. So all those stats, and I think you've been up in the booth and you've seen it, like he's got like loads of notes, and he'll bring them over to our house when we're recapping an event. And he's kind of like doing it in real time. Like, okay, this is here and this is there, but you're right. Like, I think now also with the advent of, or the increase in just AI proficiency, that stuff can be easily integrated to spit out real-time stats. We need to be, someone needs to be inputting the data to really get those stats to be usable in any way, shape, or form.
But I feel like that would be a lot faster, especially when you're shooting live. I don't know why they already don't try to implement that.
Yeah,
I
wonder if there's a way to extrapolate, like, just from a narrative standpoint, just kind of taking in the narration of the match, and then quickly every single point downloading that dumping that into some sort of software that can pull some data. But I think you need to be entering it real time, and then have everybody's stats. I don't know. I think it's a lot of manpower. And just
look, it's easy for us to sit here and nitpick it and go like, they're not doing this and they're not doing this, and maybe they're trying, or they've tried it and they failed. We don't really know, so it's easy for us to sit here and like, talk bad about it. But that's not really what I'm doing. I understand. I think we all want, everyone here and everyone even in the chat, wants PayPal to move forward and wants the best out of it. So, when we have these debates and we're always having these discussions and formats and things, and we just want to further PayPal because, Tom, you said something about, it might not happen in your lifetime or even mine where we go big, but maybe for the next guys, but that's what we do it for.
Right.
Like that's obviously the dream, but the real dream is to have our sport, to millions of people. Like that's the end goal, whether I'm a player on the field or still behind the scenes. That's the dream at the end of the day. But I do think that there are a lot of things that could be better, whether they've tried it or not. I think that there's a lot of things that could be better, and I think a lot of the faults come down to split deck.
For sure.
Really what needs to happen is all you have to do is when you're testing different formats is actually look at game played. Like you would, and then you would need to, you'd have to play like 20 matches or 30 matches over, like, let's say a series of 3 months, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be all in one day. They try to jam everything up in one day. By the end of it, players are tired. They're not really interested. There's nothing on the line. There's nothing to fight for. So like, you're not really putting it all out there. People aren't like diving the way they should be. They're not throwing their bodies away because maybe they don't want to get hurt or anything like that. It's impossible to test a format without putting something on the line. It's impossible because you're just going to go out there whether you want to or not. You're like, hey, I'm going to play hard. You really don't play as hard when there's nothing on the line. Like how you play in practice, like you don't play that same way when you're on Sunday paintball.
I mean, what they need to do is they need to do a minor event where they're going to test over the course of 2 days. Day 1 is one tournament. Day 2 is another tournament. Yeah. And we've got an offensive, defensive, and we've got a fucking attack and defense or whatever, the Counter-Strike.
Search and destroy, something like that. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right. So you have these 2 formats. And what they should do is say, everybody gets 25% series bonus points. If you're a team that's going to get relegated, you're going to show up because even if you get last place, you'll take the point. And if you're going for the series title, you're going to show up because you get bonus points. I think that is a huge incentive because, again, that's the biggest thing is you need to incentivize it somehow. Otherwise, people are not going to take it seriously. If you just go and do these little things, they're like, oh, yeah, it was all the same. I ran a shot to every spot every single time, or I just ran to the 50. Yeah. It's like you're just not going to care because there's nothing on the line, and you're not going to care to even understand the rules enough because you're just there because you were told to be there by your coach. But if it's something where it's like, hey, our season is on the line, or our season could be on the line, or this is how we make it into the top 8 to be able to play inside the stadium.
Right.
Those are all incentives to show up to this. And if you're in 12th place and you're like, or 10th place and you're like, well, I'm not going to make it there and I'm not going to make it there. I'll sit out on this. It doesn't matter. It's not in our budget. But I do believe that it'll get the teams like the Russians will show up because there's your season. Damage will show up. All the top 4 or 5 teams are going to show up. And if there's an 8th place possibility of being in there, that puts the top 10 teams will show up. And then at that point, if you don't want to get relegated, you better show up.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. We'll see if we can save paintball. What's new with you? Anything?
No, I'm still stuck on this Go Sports stuff. My mind is like spinning. You know why? Because I've sat here and I've talked to Tom, to Maddie and Tom, and I've told them for years, for like literal years, and that's why like I always go on these tangents.
Mm-hmm.
And it only feels like, you know, the last like couple of years they've been like trying to really change things. But obviously at the end of the day, it comes down to money. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
more money, you can do more things, more cameras, more things like this. But I don't know. You know that they always bring the argument, like whenever I try to, you know, give constructive criticism, it's always like, oh well, if we had more money, you know, or if we had more cameras. I'm like, I don't know if it's the cameras. You know, obviously more cameras can make it can make it a little bit better. But I think what really sells it, like look at the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the hype comes around before the fight even starts, right? It's the drama. It's setting the stage. It's creating a story, and it's telling the fans why you should give a shit about this fighter, or let's, you know, for our sport, this team, why you should give a shit about them. We don't really do a good job. There used to be, like, you know, 15 years ago, and you can attest to this, Ryan, and even Kyle, rivalries in our sport were like fucking huge. Like it was rivalries among the players and the teams. You're like, fuck that team. Like you had that team that you hated, and your whole team hated that team.
Like Dynasty and Excessive.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like that's like the perfect example of back then. And they were always fighting, like whether it was Sunday or the prelims or, you know, in the finals, it didn't matter. And everyone wanted to show up to see this rivalry because the players made something about it. The media made something about it. Maddie, like whatever, the story was there, the drama was created, and you gave a shit. So when that match happened, people went nuts over it.
Mm-hmm.
But like that just doesn't exist right now. There's no drama. There's none of this, like,
Well,
I don't know, urgency.
yeah, and I think I kind of explained it to somebody. I think it was we were doing something for TV recently, and they're like, "Hey, you got to like talk shit about this guy to like get things exciting." And I'm like, it's like no, there's nothing on the there's not enough on the line to be that big of a shithead, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like back then, when there's so Dynasty, for instance. First of all, it was $25,000 for first place, right? Then it was a $20,000 for the PSP. So in 2 weekends in 1 month, we can make 45 grand. Not to mention there was contingencies from multiple sponsors. So each event had an extra $10,000 on the line just in bonuses, and so that's $35,000 plus, you know, and we're doing 10 events in a year. So we're bringing in, and we count Europe over there, you're bringing in $500,000 in prize money. So there's a reason to like, you could, I don't know if there's a reason, but you can afford to kind of bring that persona around. Now I feel like everybody's like, oh, I don't want to, like, you know, whatever, like who really, like I want to win, but that's all I got. Splitting $8,000 is embarrassing. And most players are like, I don't even know where I'm going to be next year. I talk shit to these guys, like I might be playing with them next year. So like,
yes, but again, it's like
there's just not enough on the line.
It's for the show.
Yeah,
yes,
but that's the thing. There's like we can be like, all right, hey, look, everybody just be like mortal enemies, and now we're like kind of like starting fights, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, that guy's an asshole. Like fuck these guys, and now everybody's got this weird animosity, and they're like, and we built it all up, and we're like, oh, TV didn't work. You know,
now
you're like, dude, why do you guys hate
other?
These guys? You're like, why do you hate those guys so much? Like, dude, this is crazy. What are you playing for? And you're like, oh, I don't know, just some fucking couple of Charlie's or Outback Steakhouse gift cards, you know? Like, is it really that worth it?
And
to me, it's
Superman
not.
Posters.
You know? Yeah. I'm gonna get some ad credits and like a couple of you know, get my flights taken care of. So I just feel like a little bit was lost in I don't think it's the competitiveness, but then on top of that, like a lot of the stuff went more professional. People are hyper focused on like, I need to focus on doing my job rather than talking shit to this guy.
Yeah, but every other sport has that. And you could argue that they're even more professional, more athletic. You could argue that, but it still happens in those sports. Now, I in my personal opinion, like forget about UFC, obviously they're unique. But in other sports, media really brings like rivalries to light.
Well, because that's what
And
sells.
they'll create a story. It's like a news story. Like you can look at a news article and like without creating drama or embellishing it a little bit and saying, hey, this person did this and this person this. It's why people read News Weekly. It's like absolute dog shit media. Like no one should be reading that because it's brain rot, but people love it.
Yeah.
They love like what is my favorite superstar doing? Like it's actual brain rot, but people love it. And that's the one thing that, in my opinion, that we're missing.
Yeah, I think we need more of the tabloids to.
There's no tension.
Yeah, we need tabloids to talk more shit. We should just make some
Exactly.
shit up. That's why people like Soup so much.
Yeah, right. Well,
Brain rot.
Okay, but you're proving my point here.
No, I know. I get it. I understand. I just don't want to do that.
No, and and look, and I'm.
But
again,
if you give
I'm
me a
sitting
couple $100 grand, I'll talk shit about anybody.
and again, I'm sitting here saying like, we should be doing all of these.
Yeah.
But I'm such like an introvert. I can't do that anyways. Even when I really hate someone, I just can't do. I can't do it. Like I'll just say what's on my mind in my head, and then like to my close people. And then if that person, gets in my face, then I'll let it all, stream out.
I've seen it.
Like it'll just flow out.
Yeah.
But I'm not just talking bad about behind people's backs. I will say what I'm gonna say, like to their face. If I'm gonna say it behind their backs, I'm gonna say it to your face. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Prepping yourself for the day.
Yeah. Just
I wish you would.
Yeah. Come say something, Mitch. Come, please. Please. I've been prepping for this.
Well, dude, then here it is. Like, let's get it going. Like, who's the top 5 on the hit list? Who's top 5 on the hit list?
I mean, I'll just give you one. I'm not giving you a top 5, but everyone knows this. I've already said it before, but it's Trent Nita. I fucking hate that guy.
Okay.
God, I hate him. And you know what? I'm not by myself in this either.
Yeah.
Everyone I talk to hates that guy.
Yeah.
Like everybody I talk to, they're like, "Oh, yep, you're right."
Yeah.
I don't even have to talk shit. They just do it for me.
Well, who else? Let's get one more. Let's get one more.
No, we're not.
Because that was a gimme.
That was a
gimme. That was a gimme.
Was it a gimme? You didn't guess. You couldn't have guessed that.
Well, I mean, I probably, if I thought about it for a second, but you're like, everybody knows this.
Maybe.
Everybody. Let's get 2 more.
No,
You're gonna have to give him one, Ryan.
Yeah,
I don't hate
We'll
anybody.
go 1 for 1.
I don't hate anybody.
The thing is, besides that, I don't hate anybody else.
I don't really like talk shit to anybody. I let them talk shit, and then usually I'll say something stupid. But I don't care. That's the thing, is I don't care. You can't get there's nothing you can say to me that like is gonna hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that I haven't. It's been said. It's just one of those things that things don't really get under my skin. So like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, you looked at the brackets? You guys got a good bracket.
We have the harder bracket. Yeah.
The hardest.
It'll be all right. Every
already
bracket
practicing.
this year is an easy bracket.
Let's get one more. Give me one more.
There it is. I just gave it to you.
Everybody.
Saying that everybody's easy, bro. There it is. You don't need another one.
No, I need one more. Come on.
Like everyone looks at bracket A, like call me crazy, but everyone looked at bracket A and they're like, oh, bracket of death. And I look at that bracket and I'm like, this is easy. This is light work.
Light work.
Light work.
I like it. Let's see. I don't think that explained it, but I think you're just kind of pivoting.
No.
You got a top 5. When you go in the mirror tonight, before you turn off the thing, you go,
No.
fuck you. Say something. Like, who is it?
Imagine if I actually did that while I'm brushing my teeth.
Brushing my teeth,
Just
and you're
talking in my head, like making.
Yeah,
This guy
spitting on
Yeah.
spitting on the
Yeah.
mirror, all foamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, have you watched that show Paradise, Rob?
Paradise?
I guess not.
What, is that the one on Paramount?
I think
Hulu.
it's on Hulu.
Hulu? No.
Never mind.
It looks stupid.
Who was it when? Oh yeah, Mikey. So Mikey, I guess, holds a grudge,
Okay.
big time, and he was like, I guess he played Elliot Weaver in like D3 in Pomona, and they went to like double overtime. It was like a 5-0,
Okay.
50 minutes. I guess there's no cap on it, and I guess
Okay.
Elliot bonus balled him. And so Mikey's been mad at Elliot for like
No
5 or 10
way.
years. And 10 years? I don't know when he played D3. And so Mikey's like, yeah, I hold a grudge. Like, man, we played like this D3 event back in, you know, and he's like, I guess Mikey bonus balled the shit out of Elliot on our first practice.
Against each other?
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's for 10
So, like,
years ago.
And there was someone else, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I have to always get whoever it is, I'll get him. I have to get him back at some point in time. So it was actually.
Oh,
really
he must hate me then after the last event.
Yeah, he's probably upset.
He's probably upset. So you're saying he's gonna remember that for 10 years?
At least. He's good now though. He's like
least.
really good now, so like he's like able to like start like checking names off the box that you're there.
He's
Hit
putting
list.
his lipstick on. Checking names off the box. It's so good.
The most dominant.
What are they
station.
saying over here?
I'm just reading.
How soon do you have to go back?
I leave Friday.
Dang,
I gotta be back. I gotta do a clinic. And then,
down there?
Yeah, and then I'll be down there for the rest of the time. I don't know if we're gonna be practicing anybody this event because the team that we were supposed to practice is now in our bracket. Like it was already set up. Like, oh, we'll play you guys, and
Who was
we can't
that?
play them now because they're in our bracket. Heat. The whole
Who
practice
sets
was already
who
set
sets up practice before the
We
brackets
do.
come out?
We do. We already have, like, even for the next event, we already have Hurricanes booked for Dallas.
Oh, all right.
We had them booked before the first event, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to their."
Oh,
their
that's why
new-"
it was weird. We were like, yeah, like, oh, I think we might already have something set up. I was like, the brackets haven't come out. How have you got something set up? All right.
Yeah,
Shit, we got to do it now.
and it's like if we don't play them, then you know it's already set up, and then you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't really like it because now we might be stuck with no team, and like we have a lot of talent like within our thing anyway, so we can play each other. But it is nice to get other looks because like everyone on the team just plays super fast. So it's nice to get a look from like a slower team and go, oh, okay, hey, this could be a possibility. You know, you can speculate, but unless a slow team actually does it, it's hard to replicate it.
Why don't you guys just drive down the street over and play damage?
They will not play us. We've asked them since I've been on the team. We've asked them like 10 different times, and they've said no every time. As far as what I've been told,
I wonder if
I'm not the
they,
one
like-
making the phone calls like, hey, and no, I'm not the guy. So
I wonder if it's like, well, like nobody wants to go to each other's field, or like you guys would go over there.
I mean, we've always been pretty good about going to everyone else. Yeah, we'll travel to literally anybody. Yeah, I think everyone knows that. he hasn't talked to me about it. Maybe he was waiting for me to come
Sound's
back.
not working, Ryan.
What?
Or
That's
you
weird.
take
He
off
can
your,
hear me.
I
No,
can
I know
hear
we
him.
can hear you here.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, he's
Never
back.
mind. I think it's fine.
Huh.
He's back.
I just said, did
No,
you
he hasn't talked to me about it. What's the
about
did I
recommending
miss something?
should he go to Russia? Would you recommend?
Oh.
I didn't
I mean,
take
look.
your advice the one time.
Yeah. Hey, look. I don't really recommend anyone going there. Not because it's like, oh, this and that, and it's just like apparently they've changed a lot of the city and it's a little bit more colorful. But like when I was there, it was pretty bleak.
Gray. It was gray.
Gray. It was very gray and very, very bleak and cold and just cold as shit. And I just don't like the
You don't
cold.
like to leave the house anyway, so it's kind of like
right. So
Yeah.
when I do leave the house, why do I want to be in the cold?
no, makes total sense. You want to go to the lake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go lay on the beach. Speaking, I need to move back to Florida.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I'm busy anyways.
Yeah. I can tell. You're always busy. How would you guys? Hey, I was gonna leave anyway. Oh, you gotta go. We're gonna shut. I got shit to do. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm so busy.
Brad, we need to get on that soccer game soon.
I gotta pack for my trip. I'm gonna be gone for a while. Like I had so much stuff to do, and then I was leaving it. You know what? I quit. Can't fire me. I quit. Oh man. Well,
Man, you guys always. I need to get some sort of setup because I like coming on here, but
Yeah.
Kyle always asks me when I'm like laying in bed half naked and I only have my phone, and I just don't.
The show starts at 7 p.m. your time. Put a shirt on, dude.
What,
You
dude?
could
I'm
actually
in my
still
room
be
at
half
that
naked.
time.
You could just be
I
wearing.
had to put clothes on to get on here.
All you need to do, but you don't need to put pants on.
But what if I sit up? What if an ant bites me or something?
I can tell you're like a serial
Like, let
killer
me
and
get a
there's no
glass of
ants inside
water.
your house. An ant bites me. So, all right, well, we'll give you notice. Actually, do this. I use this all the time. As you get older, you got to do sort of this thing. You got to be like, hey, Siri, set a reminder on Tuesday at 3 p.m. that I'm going to go on the Spick and Span show. Boom, and it'll just hit you.
I just need to get a setup because like I don't like doing it from my phone and like sitting on and then holding my phone for like 2
Yeah,
hours or an
yeah.
hour and a half or whatever. I just like that's not cool to me.
Mhm.
Like sitting here and I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
And
that's
so like then I'm enjoying being with you guys and chatting with you guys about God knows what. But if I just have like just my phone and I'm just sitting here like doing one of these, like this is not sweet.
No, it's not. Is your computer set up next to your bed?
No.
Oh, it's in a different room.
Yeah, I don't shit where I sleep.
You shit on your computer chair? Does that thing have a little
I mean,
sit up thing?
Day.
I don't.
Have you
I
not
don't
ever shit your
where I
pants
sleep
before?
or where I work.
have you never shit your pants before in your life? I know you're lying now
Hold
if you
on.
say no.
I mean, wait a minute.
Haven't
Does
you
that-
seen that South Park episode?
Which
Where
one?
it's like, Mom, the World of Warcraft one.
Oh yes. So that's what. Yes. Okay. So you might
Yeah.
not be able.
I
Like
just
you have to go so
Yell
bad.
at my brother, and he just brings the fucking thing.
So you shit yourself in your computer chair.
No, of course I'm not just.
100%. That's what that means.
All right, I'm busy. I gotta get.
Oh,
out
did
of
someone
here.
just drop food off for you?
No. Yeah, the Uber guy just came up here.
You know your Uber guy that well?
You can put special instructions.
Can you walk in my house and bring it upstairs to me?
Yeah, it's like, hey, just
you know
the
the
door's
spot.
open. The door's open. Just
Can you
drop
put it
it
in the
in.
microwave, warm it up, and
Drop-
then bring it upstairs to me?
All right, I'm getting wet.
All right.
I have my
He
computer.
doesn't. This guy doesn't even have a droplet on his shirt. He's wearing a gray shirt. You'd be able to see if he's lying.
Yeah, look. This is over the top of my.
Alright,
This is on the
There's like
top
5
of the thing.
droplets there.
I mean, I don't know how many that's the littlest ones get inside of the computer.
Yeah, that is true.
They're just going.
All
They're
right.
just there's heat-seeking missiles inside of the keyboard right now.
I'm real busy, so I gotta go.
I-
It was
Later.
great talking to you guys.
All right, everybody, and congratulations. I did spin the wheel in the background. We've got winners on the show today. We've got Heatwave Hooligan SD Aftermath. Shout out there. We've got Joe Rivers and Daniel Ramirez and Taylor Munoz. We're gonna send out some gifts and some goodies here to you guys.
Is that guy riding a horse back there, or has he got like Uber food for you?
There's no horses
Postmates.
back here. Are there?
I don't know, a guy walking by that tree back there.
Oh, that's Camille.
Oh, that's gonna be on a horse?
No, there's no horses.
Or she's... Oh.
Are there? There might be.
No,
horses
I
back
just,
there.
it's really
There's-
hard to
oh
see.
yeah, way back there. There's a bunch of horses back there. This is the
Oh.
there's the kids.
Mhm.
Kids are walking up right now. Hey bud.
Right.
Hey.
I'm gonna keep fine tuning this app because it actually has a bunch of cool capabilities.
Yeah, sweet. Let's do it.
and then we
I'm
can
excited about it.
get
We'll launch
run
Legal
that
Beagle
live.
betting by the next event. We'll be able to get everybody dialed into the Legal Beagle betting system.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for our supporters, our sponsors, everybody who watched the show. Congratulations to the winners. We'll get this uploaded so you guys can listen on your favorite streaming service and platform. And assuming that these keyboards still works here, just trying to stand under the tree right now. And yeah, dude, this was a cool show. This is a really fun one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was one.
Thanks, Tom Cole and the
Grab
NXL.
on more often.
I'm gonna try to get the live update and what exactly we're gonna be doing here with this new format concept we got going on. I'll try to
Yeah.
get the leak.
All
Try to
right.
get the leak. All right.
Good luck up there.
What's up, little dude? Hi. Let's see him. Roar! Here, hold that. Hold that light. All right, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next Tuesday on the show.
Later.
We did it, everybody.